wants to have some fun.
I do.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
I really want to have fun. I'm just saying I want to have some fun.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bag.
One rule we got, we live by.
Some nights I call
What happens in this room, what's said in this room, stays in this room.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight.
It's still black ice. This is our pond.
What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
Mike Hansen! Shot saved by Alex Hare. Lawrence picks it up at the center ice. Comes to the right side. Comes forehand, backhand. Shoot, scores!
Why don't we break the rules already?
Here's a one-timer shoot, scores by Nick Rubley! Huskies win! Huskies win! The Huskies win in a shootout!
NIU Huskies hockey is on the air from Fox Valley Ice Arena in Geneva, Illinois. It's game 2 between the Huskies and the Missouri Tigers. Welcome again, everybody. My name is Marcus Grossing, along with Stephen Duffy, Dan Sanchez, and Kim Rona. Happy to have you guys along. Thank you for tuning us in today. Huskies coming off a 7-1 win last night against the Tigers. Tigers have now given up 21 goals in their first 3 contests, having lost to Illinois State 7-2 both Friday and Saturday last week. So good win for the Huskies. They moved to 2-1, and they move into second place in the Mock Gold Conference, with Missouri State losing to DePaul last night 9-1. So sweep here will definitely help their cause. They need ISU to Illinois State to lose to tie. I don't think that's going to happen after they beat Iowa 13-3 last night. So can't help what everybody else is doing, but you have to get a win here tonight. At least get a point and stay in second place.
Yeah.
Duffy, what were your thoughts on last night, especially with the Huskies getting off to a slow start in that first period?
Well, it seems like the Huskies, the last 3 games to start off this season, they always kind of get off to a slow start in the first period, and then they kind of get their legs under them in the second period. So you got to hope that they get off to a fast start tonight. That's actually one of my keys to the game tonight, that they need to get off to a fast start, especially with this Missouri team. They're going to be looking to come out probably head hunting tonight, and because they're probably very angry from last night, losing to 7-1 and all those penalties that they took. So you got to hope that the Huskies come out here hard and they come out fast, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and excuse me, when we talked to the head coach Chuck Ronaldo before your interview, we were talking about how the refereeing was not very good last night. Not to NIU, but Missouri.
Yeah.
Their coaches were absolutely livid last night, and I don't think it was too bad of an officiated game. I think Mizzou just kind of lost their cool.
Yeah.
LJ, or I forget who it was. It was Holstein. Well, Holstein got the 2-minute cross-check in the 5-minute.
Yeah, according to my dad, what he saw is that he pushed the ref, and that's why he got kicked out of the game, because he pushed the ref after he got the penalty called on him. So
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah,
I don't think you can touch the zebras in the game.
if you do that, then they're not going to have that, and they're probably going to kick you right there and then, like they did last night.
Well, Stephen Duffy, you had the opportunity to talk to head coach Chuck Ronaldo, as we do before every game.
Yep.
Here is Stephen Duffy's interview with head coach Chuck Ronaldo.
Stephen Duffy, and Coach, you had your game last night. You guys won 7-1 against University of Missouri. What were your overall thoughts of last night's game?
Well, a bit of a scary start. We had a bad first period, and one thing that we've talked about is staying consistent. So, we didn't accomplish that goal, but it was great to see the guys kind of bounce back after that first period, a bad first period, and take full control of the game, step up and say, hey, it's our home, and you guys are going to suffer now that you're here. So, they did a good job at kind of pulling out of their funk. And they made some good progress. Now it's just a matter of getting a quick start, staying consistent, full 3 periods.
Now, do you think that the power play last night was 4 for 8? Do you think that it is fixed, or do you think that there still is room for improvement from that?
there's always ebbs and flows. It's always a roller coaster. So, the moment you're content with something like a power play, how it's going, things sometimes fall apart. So, it's always a work in progress. I'm definitely happy that we've made progress. And some power plays match up better against certain teams. And I think this team, with the way we move the puck and the speed we have against a Missouri team that's more physical, a little bit slower in the foot, gives us a little bit of an advantage. So, their style is a good matchup for us when it comes to a power play. But, we can never assume that it's going to go right every time.
Yeah, because Missouri State last weekend was Missouri this weekend was kind of more conservative. Missouri State was very on you on the power play, so that's why it probably it worked a little bit better this weekend.
And we got so used to feeling that pressure against Missouri State, we had a nice sense of urgency, which we need to keep that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
We need to keep doing that at all times. I think it'll pay off.
Now, your third line of last night of Cantillo, Remley, and Sukel, they were really on last night. Really, all your lines were on last night, but that was kind of the line that had, I think, 2 or 3 goals, and they were really clicking. What do you think that line is going to be very good going forward? Do you think it's going to keep clicking like that?
Yeah, a third line, fourth line, the depth is key, and we moved Sukel up to 1, and Gorsica moved into that spot. So, Gorsica, he had his breakout game, so it was pretty nice to see. It was one of those things where if you can't put your third and fourth line out with confidence and expect them to do their job with production, it's going to be a long year. So I have full confidence in those guys, and it shows how well our future looks when our third and fourth line are really our maximum producers right now, and we're just waiting for our big dogs to get going.
Yeah. Yeah, and also last night your defensive men were getting in with 2 goals and 2 assists altogether of all your defensive men. How happy were you last night, and how do you think that they're going to do going forward?
Good, really good. We're still learning. Some of the guys are still learning on when to take the right chances and when to step back and control their gaps. It's one of those things where as long as you're being responsible defensively, that's what we want. We want to see offense from them. As long as they're doing it the right way. It's not a free-for-all or a run and gun, a men's league mentality. So you stick to the systems and your offensive opportunities will come. And that's what happened last night. They made sure everything was taken care of at their back end at home, and they were able to jump up and put some points on the board.
Now, LJ Skameka has been getting a lot of penalties lately, 3 last night and I think 5 last weekend. Are you hoping that he kind of stays within himself in these next games, because he's a freshman? So are you hoping that he kind of gets better and he doesn't take the dumb penalties?
Yeah, it's got to get better. It's one of those things that he's learning. He showed some good restraint last night. There was a guy that went after him near the end of the game. He kind of shrugged it off and realized retaliating or getting involved was the wrong idea at that time. So, for coaches, it shows hope that he's willing to learn. He's willing to change things. On the other hand, the aggressiveness and the edge that he carries is something we need. So, we don't want to muzzle him. We don't want to put shorten that chain too much. It's just making sure he finds that happy medium where, you want to get under guys' skin. You want to make sure guys know that you're behind them, you're there. On the other hand, just don't take it that one extra step where you're going to the box and the other guy's not.
Yeah, and you can tell that from last night that he was really getting underneath the skin of the University of Missouri, really all of them, because they were all taking really bad penalties last night. So what do you think your expectations are for tonight? Do you expect the same outcome of last night, or do you think it's a little bit better, a little bit worse? What do you think?
Yeah, we hope to improve on last night. I know it sounds funny coming off a 7-1 win, but to be honest with you, we played 2 good periods, and you can't be a successful team by playing 2 good periods. You play teams that are better than you, which we play a lot of teams that might be better than us this year. And if we don't put 3 consistent periods in, we're not going to even be in the game. So now's the time. And a team like Mizzou, they beat us up bad in the playoffs last year. So it's a team that can come out. They're kind of they're that double-edged sword where they can kind of lull you to sleep, and as soon as you get sucked into their game, you're in big trouble. And that's what kind of started to happen in the first period. We snapped out of it, but they have full capabilities of beating us 7-1. So, we expect it to be better today. We always like to say build momentum, and we had the momentum going to the end of the game, so we need to keep running with that.
Now, any injuries to update from last night that we need to know about?
Yeah, we've unfortunately Brian Pickett went down with a knee injury last night, so he's not going to dress tonight. He'll be somewhat week to week at this point. He'll probably be on the shelf for a little while. Maher's still out; he's going to be out for a while. Other than that, some guys are banged up. Leon went into the boards hard. He's got a sore back, but I think he's okay. Guys, once again, it's the season's begun, so there's going to be sore backs. There's going to be sore knees, shoulders. Everything's going to hurt after a while, but guys just have to fight through it.
Now, with Pick It Out, do you expect Jake Josh to come up from D3 probably in the next week and take that role?
Yeah, that's our hope. And Jake right now, with him being at D3, he's new to this level. It's his first few games. He's getting his feet wet, and it's exactly what we want. We don't want him up here being a healthy scratch when he can be on the ice, 20, 30 minutes a game down with D3. So it's actually a perfect fit right now to where he's ready to jump right in when a guy goes down or when a guy's not playing well, and that's probably what's going to happen next week.
Now, Alex Hare only had 5 goals last weekend and only 1 goal this last night. So do you expect him to start again tonight?
We're actually going to have Bonin the start today. So,
Bonin's the start? Okay.
And we're giving Hare Bear a rest today.
Yeah,
so
okay.
He's, it's one of the things that we wanted to change from last year is that Alex Hare took so much pressure on him, so much on his shoulders throughout the entire season that by the time we got to the postseason, he was pretty fried. So, our goal is to make sure that we keep him fresh throughout the start of the year, and so he's got the legs at the end of the season. And that's not to discount Bonin and Perillo. I mean, those two guys are phenomenal goalies, and those two guys would be starting goalies in many teams in our league at the D2 level. So, it's a good thing and a bad thing for them to have Hare in front of them, but at the same time, they're going to get their time, and it's going to benefit the whole program.
Yeah, well, thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight. I'm Stephen Duffy. You just heard Coach Chuck Ronaldo.
Thanks.
That was Stephen Duffy's interview with head coach Chuck Ronaldo, and he made some good points. I think the best point he made there was giving Hare the night off, and they really did work him every game last year, and it really cost him, I would say, in the ACHA and the MACA. So Bonin is no slouch. He played for the Chicago Steel for a few years, comes in as the backup with behind Hare, and Johnny Perillo is the other backup. So I think Bonin getting the start tonight just sets the tone for this hockey team in goaltending wise, where in a night like last night where you go up, you win 7-1 on a team that isn't very good, you might want to give Hare the next day off to recover, especially if you're going to be playing a team like Robert Morris next week that's a really solid hockey team, and then you have to play Illinois the week after. So Bonin gets the start tonight. I would think that Perillo would probably get a start in the next few weeks, depending on how Hare feels and how the team produces. But I think that was the best point that Coach Ronaldo made.
Yeah, the point for me that I liked what he made was Skimeka, even though that he's taking some bad penalties, he's also getting underneath the skin of the other team usually, which is very good. That's what you really need. I mean, you need your kind of Dave Bowens and Andrew Shaws from like the Blackhawks. You need kind of that person that gets under the skin of the other team, even though that he's not that big of a player, but he still can get underneath the skin and take some good penalties and kind of make them mad. So that's a good point that I liked what he made.
Yeah, and last year the key word for the Huskies throughout the whole season, and Coach Ronaldo and Goldsmith, was discipline. And LJ needs to learn to have a little bit of a discipline. I know he's new to the league, and like Coach Ronaldo said in an interview that at the end there he had a guy coming after him and he just kind of shrugged it off. That's what he needs to do most of the time. And now there are the occasions where you need to get back in the face of the player. However, I think you need to kind of just shrug that off and not give your team or allow your team to go shorthanded at any point.
I mean, granted, I think a couple of the penalties that he had last night were just tripping penalties. His stick got caught under the skates, so they weren't like horrible penalties to me, but they were still bad penalties. But I mean, they weren't horrible penalties to me that he was taking. But yeah, you're right. He needs to clean it up, especially since he's a freshman. You got to hope that he cleans it up for the season.
As the Huskies are coming out of the locker room, Missouri is out of theirs and onto the ice. It looks like number 30, Kyle Taylor, will get the start for the Tigers. He is 0-1 with a 7 goals against average and a 79 save percentage, so looking to improve on his first start against Illinois State last weekend. This is a team that has given up, like we said earlier, 21 goals already in its first 3 games of the season.
But like I've always said, I'm not sure if it's really all the goalie's fault. It's just their defense, really. I don't think is really the best defense to have around. They weren't really good last night. They were allowing too many big passes, too many long passes. So you got to hope. The coach has got to hope that they clean that up for tonight.
Yeah, and I think they will. And the thing with the Huskies is sometimes last year when they had a big lead, or they won by a big margin, the next game they kind of got complacent and played back on their heels and kind of let the other team take advantage of them, and they can't do that. sure you won 7-1, and sure you're playing a subpar team.
Yeah.
But you need to put your pedal to the metal and put your best foot forward every game.
Yeah.
As the starters are being announced for the Missouri Tigers, we have Jay Mosley, Ian Bernard, Danny Walsh, Nick Webb, and number 12, Mike Hass. Number 2, Justin Holstein. Holstein was the one that had been ejected from last night's game. So it'll be Webb, Walsh, and Mosley on forward court, Justin Holstein, Ian Bernard on defense with Kyle Taylor. Making his second start of the season as Nick Leon's going to be a starting forward here for the Huskies tonight. Like we said, Nick Bonin is going to get the start and goal. Justin Rosinski, his line mate. And Tyler Sukel with 3 goals, 2 goals last night, finally the MVP of the game last night. That puck just kind of was able to find his stick.
Yeah, he was all over the puck last night. He really was.
Troy Hickey on defense, which means I believe LJ Skimeka is defensive partner.
You got to expect Hickey to step up with pick it out tonight.
And it's going to be Ron Coletta on defense starting for the Huskies. So defense, Coletta, Hickey, Ford, Sukel, Rosinski, Leon, and Nick Bonin in goal for NIU. It is time for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have the puck drop between the Huskies and the Tigers. As the national anthem is done, we are just about ready to get underway here. Game 2 between the Tigers and the Huskies. And we have Stephen Duffy. I almost forgot.
Yes.
The most important part of the pregame show.
For me, yes.
For Duffy is the 3 keys to victory. Duffy, take it away.
Well, I think my first key has got to be Nick Bonin because he's getting his first real start of the season here with Alex Hare out and not getting the start. So you got to hope Nick Bonin gets off to a good start this season, has a good start here this game. My second key is the defense got to step up with pick it out. One of your top defensemen are out, so you got to hope that Hickey and Herlin all step up. So that's my second key. My third key, they got to get off to a good start in this first period because they have been having trouble the last 3 games to get off to a good start. Those are my 3 keys.
Thank you, Duffy. We are underway here at Fox Valley Ice Arena as the Huskies are looking to sweep the Tigers and move into a tie for first place in the Maka Gold Conference as the puck squirts past Justin Holstein, Nick Leon on him. Holstein sends it to his defensive partner, Ian Bernard. Bernard has it behind Kyle Taylor. Taking off the puck. Now the Tigers come through center ice off the Cyclone logo. That shot on goal by Bonin is sticked away. Taken by Troy Hickey for Joe Boris. Sukel couldn't handle the puck. Sent back in. Bonin gloves it down and swings it in behind his own net. Troy Hickey. Over for Coletta. Coletta skates up through the neutral ice for Sukel. Sukel backhand for Hickey. Hickey into the offensive zone. Leaves it for Nick Leon. Leon skates with a shot on Taylor. And he makes the save with the left pad. Shot from the point by Bach is deflected away by a Tiger. That was number 5, Justin Fenton. Fenton gives it away to number 19, Gamansky. Gamansky has it now near side corner boards. Up to the point for Fenton with his shot blocked away by Leon. The Huskies hurry. They have a 3-on-2. It's going to be Bach and Boris up on the rush. Bach with the shot. Pat save by Taylor. Sukowski score! Mark Greenberg on the rebound from Kyle Taylor. And the Huskies get on the board a minute and 24 seconds into period number 1. Just like we said, 8 unanswered goals going back to last night.
Yeah, and like I said, that one of their keys got to be to get off to a good and fast start, and which they just did. About a minute and a half into the game, a great play. Ended up getting the rebound, Greenberg, and making a great pass over to Boris. Great goal, and they end up going 1-0 to take the confidence in this game.
It's Mark Greenberg back on the ice, near side corner boards, battling with Mike Haas. Here's Greenberg, far side corner board, still has the puck. Looking for Joe Boris at the point, can't get it, and he just swings it into Kyle Taylor, taken away by number 14. Here's Nick Webb. Nick Webb has a giveaway from Mark Greenberg. Greenberg has himself rubbed off the puck by Ross Agrist. Here come the Tigers through center ice. Falls down is number 16, Ethan Gowan, as he was trying to lead a rush up the ice. Here's Troy Hurlin with a giveaway. Bonnet with the save. Short side shot there by Ross Agrist. Bonnet was down and able to make the save. Here come the Tigers. Backhand into the breadbasket of Bonnet. Had it loose but covers it up. Whistle blows. 17:52 left in period number 1. 1-0 Huskies.
And so far tonight, I mean, you got to hope that the defense, like I said, steps up. Without Brian Pickett, one of their top defensemen is going to be out. You got to hope that they step up against this offense that had a lot of shots on goal last night, but Alex Hare only allowed 1.
So Mark Greenberg with the goal, Joe Boris and Rob Bach on the assists. So that is Rob Bach's 3rd point of the season, 1 goal, 2 assists. Joe Boris, that is his 3rd assist of the night, or of the season, so he's got 3 points already in the early going. Nick Remley, far side half boards, skates through center ice, backhanding for Cantillo as he's up on the rush with Gorsica. Now the puck comes back to the Husky zone as LJ Skimeka battles with Jay Mosley. Mosley sends it in, far side corner boards for Danny Walsh. Walsh to the point, shot from the point, saved by Nick Bond, and he's ran into by his own man Troy Hickey, but the Huskies come out with it. Here's Nick Remley through center ice, through a check. He's got Anthony Cantillo, just shoots it wide of Kyle Taylor, taken by Kevin Schwartz. Schwartz is taken off the puck nicely by a Tiger player. As the Tigers trying to come out of their own zone, that one's going to go icing, I believe, and there's the whistle. Icing called on the Tigers. 16:44 left in period number 1 as the Huskies lead 1-0.
And again, you got to remember last weekend, NIU, the first game, it looked like they were a little sluggish, a little flat, and then the second game against Missouri State, it seemed like they came out a lot faster and a lot better. It seems like that's the same case here in this game, or in this weekend. The first game, they were kind of sluggish, very slow to get out. This game, the second game, they're doing very well to come out very fast against this University of Missouri team.
Well, it looked like icing was the call. Usually that means it would be coming back into the offensive zone for the Huskies, but it's going to be a draw to the right of Nick Bonin. So it's going to be 21, Josh Dayton, and Niedzela. Niedzela wins the faceoff, now taken by the Huskies. Here's Ron Coletta. Coletta around far side corner for Kevin Schwartz as he absorbs a hit by 21, Josh Dayton. Niedzela, Schwartz, and Coletta all battle for the puck. Pad save there by Nick Bonnet from a shot from the point. Sent around by Ian Bernard for number 6. Another number we don't have on the score sheet. I believe Mizzou might have called up some players from their D3 team. Here's Niedzela for Brian Pounds. Pounds give it up to Kevin Schwartz. Big Kevin Schwartz has Anthony Niedzela, or Brendan Niedzela, excuse me, on the rush with him. Taken by the Tigers. Up through center ice as Stetzinger has the puck and gives it back into the Huskies' offensive zone. As that one looked like it might have hit a player on the Tiger bench, no whistle called. Here's Nick Leon. Nick Leon backhands it for Kyle Taylor, in front by Kyle Taylor, and he sticks it away to the near side corner boards. Battling for there is Nick Leon, looking for Stetzinger, and he can't keep it in. Offsides is going to be the call. 15:35 left in period number 1. 1-0 Huskies.
But yeah, like I said, one of my keys to the game has got to be Nick Bonin. He's got to have a good game tonight with Alex Hare out, because Alex Hare has been your bread and butter of this year. You got to hope that Nick Bonin starts off very well this season with a good start. And so far, he's doing very well with 4 shots on goal from Missouri, and he stopped them all.
Yeah, I think Nick Bonin's going to do just fine. Like we said, played in the USHL for the Chicago Steel. So he has that big-time experience and will have no problem filling the role that Alex Hare has left as he's getting the night off to take a little bit of a rest. Don't want to wear him out this early in the season. Here's Tyler Sukel with 2 goals last night. Dances into the zone. Shot saved by Kyle Taylor. Puck is in the near side corner boards with Ross Agrist. Agrist gives it over to Gamansky. Gamansky sends it in far side dasher boards. Now taken by Hickey. Hickey for Sukel. And the puck is left at the blue line. Dumped back in by the Tigers, number 23, Zach Fanning. Fanning gets the puck at center ice. Just dumps it back into the Husky zone. Danny Stetzinger just to the left of Bonin. Gives it over for Sukel in the corner. Sukel with some good speed, good hands. Skates up and dumps it into the offensive zone as the Huskies go for a change. Taylor out to play for it. Nick Leon has the puck, looking to a centering pass for Hurlin. Wasn't there as it was deflected off the stick of Mike Rosa. Here come the Tigers into the offensive zone. Icing is going to be waved off as number 13, Danny Walsh, was there to get the puck. Danny Walsh looking at the wraparound attempt, and Nick Bonin's there to cover up the puck on the right side of the net. Whistle blows, 14:09 left in period number 1. Huskies up 1-0 on the goal by Mark Greenberg.
And you know that the coach tonight is going to have to go with only 5 defensemen with Brian Pickett out, and you couldn't bring a D3 player up because they're away right now. So you got to hope that they have good stamina tonight, the defense, and can play very well.
To rejoin the play, here's Mark Greenberg looking for a second goal. Big glove save there by Kyle Taylor, as Greeny had a lot of room on that far side boards, and he let one go. Kyle Taylor up to the challenge, makes the save. Face off to the right of Taylor. Still waiting, and Boris wins the face-off. Shot from LJ just goes wide of Kyle Taylor, but around in the Tigers regain possession of the puck. Tigers going off for a change, so they just dump it into the Husky zone. Here's LJ Skimeka, one of the players we had Coach Ronaldo talked about in the opening pregame interview as having to be more disciplined. Mark Greenberg gives it away for number 11, Agrist. Agrist shot just goes wide of Nick Bonin. Here's Rob Box circling near side corner boards for Greenberg. Bach has that one given away. Tigers offsides. Now they dump it into the right of Nick Bonin. Troy Hurlin around behind Bonin, gives it over for Boris. Boris spins with it behind the net. Here's Troy Hurlin. Hurlin for Cantillo. Cantillo can't handle that pass, and the Huskies have to regroup in their own zone. Huskies having a tough time here in the early going, getting out of their own defensive zone. Boris for Cantillo. Saw the flashes of brilliance from him last night, getting his first goal as a Husky. And the Tigers dump it in off the foot of Troy Hickey. That was John Gamansky. And the puck finds Nick Bonin. He covers it up. 12:44 left in period number 1. 1-0 Huskies.
I kind of like an extra key for me to the game tonight is that last night the third and fourth lines were kind of the big scorers last night, and your power play, of course. But I'm hoping that the first and second line kind of get off to a good start here in this game, and they get some goals as well.
Yeah, we had we were very fortunate last year to have the third and fourth lines rolling, and I think that's the key for any team. Troy Hickey takes a shot, and that one's blacked by Bernard. But to have the third and fourth line produce, you don't have to always rely on your top line of Leon and Rosinski and guys like that. And that's what the Hawks had last year, and they were able to win their second cup.
Yeah, I mean, really, every team hopes to have a good third and fourth line. If you have all 4 lines working well, then you really don't have anything to worry about all season.
As Gorsica dumps it in, Kyle Taylor's back to stop the puck, gives it over to number 10, Bernard. Bernard just sends it out as far as center ice, and Pound sends it back in. Kyle Taylor there to stop the puck. Taking off the puck was Justin Holstein, Schwartz taking off the puck by Holstein. Now a giveaway as Nizil is looking for a shot. Shot from the point, pad save. I don't think that got away. Here comes Alex Roth on a breakaway, actually a 1-on-3. Roth gets hit high, and he's down on the ground, slow to get up. Now he's making his way gingerly back to the bench as the Tigers try to go far side top shelf with number 18, Nick Webb. Here come the Tigers, a little bit of a sustained pressure here in the offensive zone. Mike Hass looking for a centering attempt, and the puck goes through center ice. No icing called as Brandon Niedzila is back on the forecheck. But Zach Fanning's there to take it for the Tigers. Fanning and O'Neill. O'Neill has it taken away by Sukel. Sukel with the shot. That one just goes wide of the glove of Kyle Taylor. Here's Sukel, near side corner boards. Here's Nick Leon now battling for it. Hickey has that one deflected up and into the protective netting. 10:56 left in period number 1. 1-0 Huskies. Still no penalties called. Fast-paced first period.
Yeah, and back to that breakaway by Alex Roth. I thought that it looked like that NIU might have got away with one there. It looked like it was a high elbow, and he was trying to sell it. I mean, a little bit too much, but it still looks like we could have got a penalty there.
Rosinski won the faceoff. Hickey with the shot goes wide of Kyle Taylor. Here's Justin Rosinski for Nick Leon, and right into the glove of Kyle Taylor. Second good glove save made by the young goaltender. Like we said in the opening, this Missouri Tigers team has given up 21 goals in its first 3 games of the season. Taylor giving up 7 in his first start, and Stephen Williams giving up 14 combined in his first 2 starts against Northern Illinois and Illinois State. Rosinski wins the faceoff. Nick Leon dumps it around behind Kyle Taylor, far side corner boards. Now Rosinski gives it back for Leon. For Skimeka. Skimeka can't hold it, and here come the Tigers on a 2-on-1. But Suko with a good skating comes back and does not allow that to happen. Nick Bonin covers up the puck. 10:29 left in period number 1. Huskies still up 1-0.
Yeah, and you made a good point there that Suko, he made the effort to get back, because if he doesn't make that effort, it ends up being a 2-on-1, and they end up maybe getting a goal there because then Bonin can't take that down that angle.
Little scoreboard update here for you. D3 is playing at Marquette. They are down 6-2 as Tyler Zanin just scored a shorthanded goal for the Golden Eagles. So 6-2 Marquette over Northern Illinois' Division III team. Here's Mark Greenberg, near side face-off circle for Danny Stetzinger. Around the net for behind Bonin, taken by Danny Stetzinger. Stetz goes through 2 players, still skates with the puck through center ice, and just dumps it in the near side corner boards. Mike Rosa and Mark Greenberg battle for the puck behind Taylor. Rosa still handles it over for Fenton. Fenton can't handle it, and finally he gets as far as center ice, where Stetzinger can control. Bach trying to get it into the offensive zone, can't have it there as Fenton takes it away from Bach. Fenton dumps it in. Alex Roth is back out on the ice after being hit high and gives a big hit on Troy Hurlin. So Alex Roth showing no signs of being hit.
Looks like he was kind of getting back there at Hurlin for doing that high elbow.
Here's Mark Greenberg having the puck taken away from him in the near side half boards. Here's Boris. Boris for Cantillo out in front, and Cantillo couldn't handle the pass. Shot comes weakly to Kyle Taylor. He covers it up, gets the face-off. 9:17 left in period number 1. Your Huskies up 1-0 on a Mark Greenberg goal.
Now, it's good defense by Missouri there, because the defense there just saved the goal. He's lifted the stick of Cantillo, so he couldn't get a tip-in goal, a cheap goal there. A great play by the Missouri defense.
Here's the Huskies. That one just goes wide of Kyle Taylor as he sticks to the near side corner boards off the face-off. Anthony Cantillo has the puck, battling with a few Tigers in the near side corner. Justin Holstein. Holstein was ejected from last night's game. 2 minutes for cross-checking and 5 minutes for headbutting. I believe that was on LJ. Here's Anthony Cantillo at the giveaway. Shoots, just goes wide of Kyle Taylor. And Cantillo slides into the net. Cantillo gets a little shove in the back from Taylor, saying, "Get out of my net," as the Tigers control. Now Ron Coletta sends it around. Good keep in on the far side blue line for Ron Coletta. Troy Hickey sends it back in. Huskies are off sides, but they go for a change as Gorsica comes off and Schwartz comes on. Tigers through center ice. Here's Alex Roth taken off the puck by Ron Coletta, and Ron Coletta looks shaken up as he took a stick high to the face as Roth had a little bit of a cross-check, and Nick Remley gets taken out. Here comes Kevin Schwartz with Brian Pounds. Schwartz looking for Pounds on the backhand saucer pass, couldn't find a good diving block there by a Tiger. That was Mike Hass on the dive as Bonin comes way out of his net to play. Good thing he had some support there by Niedzila and Skimeka. Niedzila takes the puck at center ice. He's got Brian Pounds and Kevin Schwartz. Niedzila into the zone. Shoots. Big save by Kyle Taylor. He had no clue where that was at. Good thing the Tigers clear the blue paint. And those are the kind of garbage goals the Huskies need to start putting in the back of the net. I know it's nice to get the full-strength goals, but sometimes you got to pick up that garbage.
Yep.
Shot from the left point by Nick Webb goes wide of Nick Bonin. Taken there by Danny Walsh. Walsh over for Jay Mosley. Mosley's taken off the puck, and here comes Brandon Niedzila up the ice. Number 89 through center ice. A 1-on-4 as the rest of the Huskies go for a change. 7:18 left in period number 1. Huskies up 1-0 on a Mark Greenberg goal. Assist to Bach and Joe Boris. Puck battle for it, center ice. The near side boards. Here comes Zach Fanning. Backhanded centering attempt for Mosley. Can't connect. Fenton gets the puck back. Shot. That score! Number 28, David Jaffe. So number 28, actually that's number 18, Nick Webb with a shot. As the puck lay loose right in the high slot, and Webb just fires it over the blocker of Nick Bonin. Huskies give up a goal, and it's 1-1.
And that was a bad turnover by the Huskies there in their own zone. And number 28, David Jaffe, ends up taking a great wrist shot and just getting by Bonin. Bonin really couldn't do anything about that. He was not expecting that puck to get to his stick so fast.
So Nick Webb gets his goal, first goal of this series, and ties up the game 1-1 apiece with just over 6 minutes left in period number 1.
I'm sorry, that was Nick Webb, not 28. Number 18.
Nick Webb, yep. Here's Danny Stetzinger, near side face-off circle for Nick Leon. Leon saucer pass for Sukel. Looking to find him, can't do it. Hickey's got the puck right at the blue line, between the blue line and the center ice. Here's Nick Leon circling over the Cyclones logo, just dumps it in on Kyle Taylor. He sticks it away near side corner board for Brad Howard. Brad Howard takes it away. Here's Sukel with the shot. Blocker save by Kyle Taylor. Sukel looked like he had some room, and a penalty coming up on the Tigers as Nick Leon is down on the ice, getting hit hard from behind.
That could be a head injury there. That was a boarding penalty.
As we saw already, or as we heard in the pregame interview, as Leon is up and he's skating off. Nick Leon battling a little bit of a back issue from last night as number 24, Brad Howard, goes to the penalty box. First power play opportunity.
And remember, last night, their power play was 4 for 8 last night. It really got on a roll last night. It was 1 for 14 last weekend. They really fixed it up last night. Like we were saying in the pregame, it seems like University of Missouri was a little bit conservative last night with the penalty kill. Let's see if they get a little bit more aggressive, but let's see if the Huskies can keep getting goals in there on the power play.
Mosley gets the assist on the Nick Webb goal. Here's the Huskies on the power play. Troy Herlin, right point, now left point for Hickey. Back for Emily Sukel with the one-timer pad save there by Kyle Taylor. Rob Bach battles in the near side corner boards. Now for Joe Boris at the half boards. Herlin with the shot blocked out in front by the Huskies, by a Husky looking for a screen. Troy Herlin skates with it near side. Shot blocker away by Kyle Taylor in the far side corner boards. Here's Rob Bach, 1:30 left in the power play, 5:34 left in period number 1. 1-1 your score from Fox Valley Ice Arena. Joe Boris, Troy Hickey, back for Boris. Boris got room to skate in, looking for a shot, shoots, goes right off the outside of the post. Referee loses sight of the puck, blows the whistle, 5:20 left in period number 1, 1:14 left on the man advantage.
And Boris there had Kyle Taylor out of position, and he had him sliding. He just couldn't stuff it in there, and ended up in the side of the net instead of in the net there for the power play goal.
Face off to the right of Kyle Taylor, won by the Tigers, and they clear the puck as Hickey tried to leap up and grab that puck and keep it in the offensive zone. Nothing doing as the Tigers clear the zone. Back in around behind Nick Bonin is Troy Herlin. So it's Leon, Sukel, Hickey, Rosinski, and Herlin. Herlin from Hickey skates into the offensive zone. Near side corner boards. Herlin finds Sukel. Shoots! Score! Sukel with his third goal of the weekend. And the Huskies convert on the power play and regain the lead 2-1 with 4:52 left in period number 1.
And just like last night, it seems just the puck is finding Sukel this whole weekend. And again, another power play goal for him. I think he had one last night, maybe 2 last night power play goals. He's just been unbelievable on the power play. He's kind of he's really their sniper on the power play here, and he's been playing great this weekend. And another goal for him, the 3rd goal for this weekend for Sukel.
So the Huskies get, I believe that's their 3rd or 4th power play goal of the weekend.
I think it's their 5th, actually. I think they were 4 for 8 last night. I think they're 5 for 9 for the weekend so far.
So what a weekend, what a change in weekends from last weekend where they couldn't convert on the power play. Now they just can't stop converting on the power play. Not saying that's a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Sukel for Rosinski. Rosinski through center ice with Nick Leon. Offsides is the call. Looked like it could have been a tripping call on the Tigers, but offsides is the call. 4:34 left in period number 1. 2-1 Huskies. It's a nice rush by Sukel. I believe you're going to get the assist from Troy Hickey from the offensive zone. We'll wait for the official word from our good friend Scott Swartz, who is texting us all those updates from the scorer's box. Cotillo with the shot. Blockered away by Kyle Taylor. Here's the Tigers coming through center ice looking for Mosley, but Coletta breaks up the rush there. Ron Coletta for Mosley. Mosley takes it now for Danny Walsh. Walsh for Mosley. Mosley walks in, shoots, and just can't bury it as Nick Bonin was out of position. Puck slides all the way back down into Tiger zone. And the assist is going to go to Troy Herlin on the Sukel goal. So Troy Herlin continues his good play with his 4th point in 2 weekends. Here come the Tigers. 3:51 left in period number 1. 2-1 Huskies. Greenberg and Sukel, 2 goal scorers for the NIU Huskies. Here's Nick Remley, the captain. Far side corner boards for Stetzinger. Through the legs of a Tiger for Cantillo, but he can't handle the puck. Tigers circle around Josh Dayton looking for a centering pass. Puck lays loose and finally comes right into the chest of Nick Bonin, and he covers it up. Whistle blows, 3:28 left in period number 1. 2-1 Huskies.
And the Missouri Tigers just could not get a puck on it. They did end up getting a puck on it, but it was a really kind of not a full shot when they had Stetzinger out of position, and they could have got a goal there, but luckily Bonin ended up stopping it.
Here's LJ Skimeka around, bothered by Ethan Gowan. Finally, the puck comes loose out in front of Bonin, and here's Brian Pounds up through center ice with Kevin Schwartz. Looks like Pounds got tripped there a little bit, tried to stay with the puck. Now Ethan Gowan's got it. Schwartz takes it away from him, the near side corner boards. Mike Rosa battles with Pounds, and finally Rosa gets it out through center ice. And LJ Skimeka is back to get it far side half boards. LJ for Hickey. Hickey near side face-off circle, Husky zone, now through center ice. Hickey just dumps it into the Tiger zone. Taken there by Evan Thill. Thill looking for the cross-ice pass for Bernard. Broken up nicely there by the Huskies. Hickey with the shot from the point. Looking for a redirect by Kevin Schwartz. Wasn't there. LJ Skimeka keeps it in. Around behind Taylor. Taken by Fenton for Troy Hickey. Hickey keeps it in. And it's out. And Hickey's going to send that one out of play. Offsides is the call. Face-off going to come into neutral zone. 2:26 left in period number 1. 2-1 Huskies.
And really, NIU has been kind of dominating the face-off dot so far. It's 12-5 right now, NIU in the face-off dot. They're really dominating University of Missouri, and let's hope that face-off dot that continues during this game.
Marquette is now up 8-2 on the Huskies in the D3 as they're playing up in Milwaukee. As Nick Leon looking for a short side goal on Kyle Taylor, but he's there to make the save. Coming through center ice is Alex Roth, the captain. He played at Lindenwood before transferring to Mizzou. As Alex Roth stays with the puck, backhanded pass cleared out of there by Troy Herlin. Here's Sukel and Greenberg on a 2-on-1. Sukel looking for a pass from Greenberg just out in front. Greenberg looking for his second goal, and that goes just wide of the far side post. Rosinski looks like he's in a little bit of pain in the right arm, and he's going to go off for a change. Here's Mark Green with a slap shot into the glove of Kyle Taylor. Whistle blows. 1:37 left in period number 1. 2-1 Huskies.
And so far, it just looks like Greenberg and Sukal, they just got the chemistry going right now. They almost ended up getting their third point together there. And right now, Greenberg's got the first goal, and Sukal's got the second goal. So really, those two are just doing great together.
Here come the Tigers up the ice. Ron Coletta looking to take the man off the puck, and he does. That was Rodney O'Neill. Hickey sends it in near side corner boards for Ron Coletta. Coletta backhanded for Bach. Now cross ice pass connects with Greenberg, but finally taken away by the Missouri Tigers. Sent in looking for Mosley at the blue line, but Bach intercepts the pass there as Joe Boris sends it into the offensive zone. Here are the Tigers, taken away by Ron Coletta up on the play. Nice diving block there by number 25, Rodney O'Neill. Here come the Tigers, the alternate captain. 1 minute left in period number 1. Huskies up 2-1, shoot, score! Nick Webb with his second goal of the game. And the Huskies give it up with 56 seconds left in period number 1. This game is tied at 2 apiece as Nick Webb gets his second goal of the game.
Man, Nick Webb, he's just got that sniper on him. I mean, he's got a great wrist shot there, and he ended up showing it off again for his second goal of the game. You got to hope that Nick Bonin kind of catches up with that in the second period and does a little bit better. But so far, Nick Webb has got the best of him twice now.
Yeah, and it's not like... And they were both, I mean, Nick Webb has been wide open for both goals.
Oh, yeah.
The puck has just kind of been laying right in the open ice for him, and he's buried it with some snipes. So Nick Webb gets his second goal of the game with 46 seconds left in period number 1. As the Tigers looking for a backhanded shot, Agras just misses wide on Nick Bonin. Puck comes out to center ice. Taken by Danny Stetzinger. Back for Troy Herlin. Herlin off the ice looking for Cantillo. Taken by the captain, Nick Remley. Remley looking short side goal, blocker away by Kyle Taylor. 20 seconds left in period number 1. 2-2 your scores. Nick Webb ties it up at 19:04 of period number 1. Sent back in by the Tigers. 10 seconds left in the period. Puck goes all the way down the ice, and that should just about do it for period number 1. And the horn blows, and the Tigers come back and tie the game at 19:04 of period number 2. Nick Webb scoring both goals for the Tigers, and Mark Greenberg and Tyler Sukal getting goals for the Huskies. Good start for the Huskies, getting off to a quick start for Sukal, getting his third goal of the weekend. Had the lead, gave it up for Nick Webb. Puck was just kind of laying there out in the middle of the, right in the slot. Wasn't going to miss from there. Greeny comes back, and they give it right back. So 2-2 or all even after 20.
I mean, really, yeah. I mean, every time we got a goal, Missouri ended up answering with Nick Webb's snipe shots. I mean, really good shots by Nick Webb. They just, like you said, just kind of ended up laying on his stick. So far, I mean, NIU had a good start to the first period, but they just got to do a little bit better on the defense. Without Brian Pickett, it might be a little bit hard tonight with the defense since they only got 5 tonight, but you got to hope that they get some stamina and they do a little bit better in the second period to come.
Yeah, I think that not the ferocity, but the sense of urgency was there. They weren't playing on their heels were the Huskies. They were really taking it to Mizzou, looking for those big cross-ice passes through the neutral zone and forcing the issues, which you have to do against a team that you just beat 7-1, knowing that they're going to come out with some aggression and really try to take it to you in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, really. I mean, NIU ended up getting a goal in the first minute, 30 seconds, so they did end up having a good start. Yeah. And like you said, they've been doing very well. They got some speed tonight, unlike last night in the first period where they were very sluggish. They got some speed, and they're doing very well. Let's hope that they keep that speed up in the second period.
Well, we're going to take our first commercial break. Coming up here on the NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network will be the first intermission report. We'll break down period number 1. Look forward to period number 2. Take a look at the calendar for the upcoming games for the D2 Huskies, and much, much more. You're listening to Huskies Hockey on the NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Over here at jamsonair.com, we play anything and everything. You might hear... Or how about this tasty track? I want to get you in the back seat, windows up, that's the way you like it. We have them all. Lollipop, 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 lollipop. Well, maybe not that. Jamsonair.com. Radio when you want it.
We know balancing family, friends, work, and free time keeps you busy. We want to help you start your day off right. Whether you're visiting for business or for pleasure, you'll always get a clean and fresh Hampton bed. Free high-speed internet access, free hot breakfast served daily with fresh baked waffles and hearty oatmeal with toppings, friendly, helpful service, and much more. For one rate. Guaranteed. If you're not satisfied, we don't expect you to pay. That's our commitment and your guarantee. That's 100% Hampton. Go to HamptonInn.com to find the nearest location. Hampton Inn & Suites, the official hotel of NIU Hockey.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah?
Do you want to go to the state fair?
Yeah.
Do you want to ride the roller coaster?
Yeah.
The big one?
Yeah.
The one with the reverse flip?
Yeah!
Well, you can't.
Huh?
You see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it, including going to the state fair.
Oh, man.
Cheer up. This year, your parents will make it right. They're going to visit EnergySavers.gov, where they'll get tips on how to save energy and money. Then they'll add extra insulation and get a few of those Energy Star appliances. They could save hundreds of dollars a year. And you know what, Billy?
What?
They'll take you to the state fair next year.
But I want to go this year.
I know you do, Billy. I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Have you always wanted to be on radio or television? Don't lie to yourself, of course you have. That means that you need to come to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. At ICB, you'll learn everything you need to know. Hands-on training in audio programming, video editing, and much, much more. Financial assistance is available for those who qualify, so you've got no excuse. Go online to beonair.com or call 630-916-1700 for more information. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where your career begins.
Green light. Hey girl. School zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah. Street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to NIU Huskies Hockey. Now let's send it back to Stephen and Marcus for more NIU hockey. And we're back here. First period intermission report brought to you by the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. If you would like to start your career in broadcasting, go to beonair.com. That's where myself, Stephen Duffy, and Dan Sanchez all went to school. Great program. You get to do a lot of neat things at that school. First intermission report here at Fox Valley Ice Arena as the Huskies are knotted up at 2 goals apiece with the Missouri Tigers. I think that the Huskies looked a lot better tonight than they did last night. A little bit sluggish coming out of the gate last night, not tonight. Yeah. They found their skating legs, came out with a lot of intensity, got on the board really quick at 1:24 of the first period. The Huskies got a goal full strength for Tyler Sukel. And then on the power play, Greenberg full strength gets the first goal. Sukel scores on the power play at 15:08, assist to Troy Herlin. But the Tigers came right back and scored 2 goals, both by Nick Webb. Both pucks kind of laying right out on the slot, right in front of Nick Bonin. And Bonin gets beat both times blocker side. So that's something the Huskies really have to clean up, is clearing the pucks out of the open ice for Nick Bonin, so he doesn't have to make those one-on-one saves on the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, because you can tell that Nick Webb, he's got that nice snipe shot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he's gotten, like I said, he's gotten the best of Nick Bonin twice now. And my tallies of that first period, the faceoffs were 12-7, and the shots were 16-11. Both NIU were winning in both those categories. So those are my tallies. So the shots are doing they're doing better. They're beating them in shots, and they're beating them in faceoffs. Let's hope that the faceoffs can continue and the shots. But you got to remember that there was a power play for NIU in that first, but not a lot of penalties like last night. Only one penalty, so that's very good for both teams. Both teams are cleaning up the act. Better discipline. Let's hope that continues so we can see a little bit more 5-on-5 hockey. But you like to see the power play and the penalty kill the special teams. So
yeah, only one penalty. That was number 24, Brad Howard, 2 minutes for cross-checking on Nick Leon, and the Huskies buried it from Tyler Sukell. So the power play, like you said, have scored 5 power play goals so far this weekend after going 1 for 14 last weekend against Missouri State, as the Huskies are just about ready. We're about ready to start period number 2. About 3 minutes left here in the intermission report before we start another 20 minutes of hockey here at Fox Valley Ice Arena. But yeah, face-offs I think is the other element to this team that has really gotten a lot better over the weekend. Face-offs last weekend, especially against Illinois in that preseason game, were atrocious, but every weekend they've progressed and improved in that area of the game.
I mean, you got to really expect, like we said, U of I, they were a really good team. They ended up beating the team before that. Who was the team that they beat before that again? U of I?
The St. Louis Junior Blues, which is semi-pro hockey team.
Yeah, exactly, and they beat them 4-3, so you got to expect, that we lost to them 9-4, and the face-offs were not good at all, but they, like you said, they've gotten better each weekend. Last weekend was about 50%. This weekend they're actually over 50% beating them, so they're doing very well in the face-off dot. They're doing better, and let's hope that continues throughout the season. Just keep getting better and better every time, and we can see that with the power play. It just keeps getting better and better, so let's see if that keeps going.
Well, just about ready to start period number 2. Duffy, what are you looking out of the Huskies in period number 2 to get back into the lead and try to retain the lead and not give up a goal?
Well, I expect Nick Bonin to have a little bit better period here. I know they got bested twice by Nick Webb, and let's hope that he can stop him this period and not let him get a hat trick. And I expect the defense to be a little bit better. I know that they only have 5 defensemen, but you got to expect them to do a little bit better, even without Brian Pickett, one of their top defensemen, which is, it looks like it's kind of hurting them right now because you can tell that their stamina, since they can only use 5 defensemen tonight, is kind of hurting, but I expect both things to be a little bit better this period.
Yeah, I think for the Huskies, it's just going to have to come out with that same intensity you did in the first 20 minutes, get off to a fast start as the Huskies come back out on the ice, but get off to a fast start in this period. Look to score a goal within the first 5 or 6 minutes of this period to really put Missouri on their heels like they did early on in the first period. And the second part of that is to not let the Tigers back into this game.
Yeah.
You've got to clear those loose pucks in the middle of the ice in front of Nick Bonin and really help your goaltender out. This is his first start of the season. Hasn't faced really any shots, or hasn't really faced anybody yet except for a period, I believe, against Illinois.
Yeah.
So you really got to help out your goaltender here, Nick Bonin, as he gets to start in replace of Alex Hare, who is getting the night off.
Well, yeah, the first goal there, they ended up having a bad turnover, and that's how he ended up just getting the Nick Webb getting the puck right on his stick, just stymied it right by Nick Bonin.
Yep.
So you got to hope that the defense does a little bit better of protecting the puck this period and not letting those bad turnovers in their own zone happen to be a good snipe for Nick Webb again.
So the Huskies are out on the ice. Missouri still kind of...
It always seems like
they're always last.
Yeah, they always want to kind of make you think, like, are they actually going to come out or are they forfeiting it?
So the Huskies will be moving right to left on your computer screen. Missouri will be going left to right as Nick Bonin and Kyle Taylor are still in goal for both the Tigers and the Huskies. Final score update here for you. The D3 team loses to Marquette 11-2, so they had given up 22 goals in the weekend series against Marquette. One goal that scored by the Huskies with J.C. Weems, so that's 5 goals in his last 3 games, which includes a hat trick last Saturday against Missouri State. So it's really good to see J.C. Weems, the emotional leader, the captain of that D3 team, really stepping up big. He really made a good push to stay on the D2 team, or to make the D2 team, but nonetheless.
Yeah, you got to expect J.C. Williams. He's probably going to be the first guy that they pull up if they ever have any injuries at the forward, and the same thing with Jake Jotch. He's kind of their top defenseman on that D3 team. You got to expect him to get pulled up maybe next week since Brian Pickett might be out for a week or two now.
Yeah, like Coach said, he's going to be week to week, but expect Pickett to kind of take it easy as he is the elder statesman on this team, so kind of like Hosa, you don't want to push him too hard too early. As we're underway in period number 2, both teams tied at 2 as Jay Mosley battles for the puck. Down there is Nick Webb now. But the Huskies come out. Here's Justin Rosinski through center ice. Trying to go around a check by Ian Bernard. Rosinski gives it over for Sukel. Sukel still has it in his skates. Now taken by Rosinski. Rosinski and Sukel near side corner boards. Sukel still has it. Backhanded. Tried to get it in deep was Leon, but the puck comes out to center ice. Here's Walsh and Mosley. Mosley just dumps it in as the Tigers go for a wholesale change. Hickey comes out behind his own net. Off the boards for Leon, looking for Rosinski touch pass. Roth gives it away for Rosinski at center ice. Here's Nick Leon. Nick Leon with the shot. Pad saved there by Kyle Taylor as Sukel gets taken out and he takes Kyle Taylor. We rejoin the play. Rosinski into the offensive zone. He's taken out by Alex Roth. Now come up the ice is Gamansky. Near side boards. Comes out, shoots, pad save there by Bonin, covers it up with his glove. Whistle blows, 18:40 left in period number 2. 2-2 your score here at Fox Valley Ice Arena.
After Sukel kind of took out Kyle Taylor there, you could tell that Kyle Taylor was not happy, and Sukel was trying to give him his stick back, and Kyle Taylor kind of just ripped it from him, like acting like he meant to do that. But I mean, I think he got pushed into the goalie there. But it looks like Kyle Taylor thought it was a little bit more than that, but I don't think it really was.
No, Sukel definitely got pushed from behind and got rammed into Kyle Taylor, and he took offense to that. We like to say goaltenders are prima donnas as the faceoff goes right to Bond and he covers up, whistle blows. Goalies are a little high maintenance, and that's expected.
I mean, yeah, you expect that because they're usually your top guy that you got to have on the team.
As the puck goes in behind Nick Bonin, taken there by Josh Dayton. Dayton rubbed off the puck by Boris. 21s are going at it near side or far side corner boards. As the puck skips over the stick at Drew Davenport, taken here now by Mike Rosa. For Davenport, back for Rosa, he tried to find his man, but Troy Hurlin has it in his own zone. Hurlin back for his defensive partner Coletta. Coletta through center ice for Greenberg. And the puck just kind of careens and caroms through center ice. Now back for Ron Coletta. Skates with it for Hurlin. Puck is in the skates of the referee. Now for Mark Greenberg. Shot by Rosa, blocked away by Nick Bond at the far side corner boards. Here's Ron Coletta for Greenberg. Here's Joe Boris on a breakaway. Boris looking for the shot for Greenberg. Shoots, pass, and score! Mark Greenberg scores his second goal of the game. It was a delayed penalty call. I thought Taylor had it, but the puck squeaks right through the pads, and the Huskies regain the lead, just like I said. Got to get a goal in the first 5 minutes.
Yep, and Greenberg ended up doing a great job there, following up Boris. Boris ended up trying to get a shot on goal, which he did, and Greenberg did a great job getting his second goal of the game, following it up and getting right by Kyle Taylor, who, like he said, I thought that he had it, but he ended up just getting right by his wickets and scribbling in there.
And it was going to be a delayed penalty call on the Tigers. I believe it would have been a trip or a hook on Joe Boris, or the hook was on Joe Boris. As the referees are over at the Tiger bench explaining.
Now, I've never understood, does that count as a power play goal if they end up having a delayed penalty and they end up getting a goal in that time period?
I don't believe so.
It's not.
I would think that's a full strength goal.
Yeah, because I've never understood if that's a power play goal or not, but because technically you do have your goalie out and it's supposed to be a 6-on-5, so. But it looks like they still are going to put the penalty on him.
So Joe Boris gets the goal. Ron Coletta with the assist, and the Huskies go on their second power play of the night. Penalty going to be on number 5. Jonathan Fenton, not sure what the penalty was. Nonetheless, Huskies are 1-for-1 on the power play, looking to go 2-for-2. Hickey for Rosinski. Rosinski tries a little move inside as the Tigers take the puck away, clear it down by Nick Bonin. Stops it behind his net for Troy Hickey. 1:27 left in period, or 1:20 left in the power play. 16:58 left in period number 2. Penalty was on number 5 Fenton, 2 minutes for slashing. Hickey for Leon. Leon looking for the shot, tries to go wide up over the glove, and that one goes off the glass all the way back down for Nick Bonin. As Nick Bonin came way out of his goal to play that, Alex Roth looking for the goal, but Sukel was there to slide and take the shot away.
That was actually LJ Skameka making a diving save. I think he just saved the goal there.
Rosinski with the shot right into the pass. Score! Justin Rosinski! First goal of the season. The Huskies are 2 for 2 on the power play, and they increase the lead 4-2.
And it's just a great job by Rosinski there, coming up, and against, it looks like Kyle Taylor had it, but he ended up losing it again, and Rosinski coming in for his own rebound, almost kind of like a basketball player. You gotta follow your shot, and he comes out, and he ends up getting his first goal of the game, and his first goal of the weekend. So you gotta be happy about that by your assistant captain there, by Rosinski.
So Rosinski gets on the board. The Huskies extend the lead 4-2, and they are 2 for 2 on the power play tonight. And I believe that is their 6th power play goal of the season. As we rejoin the play, Joe Boris near side boards at center ice. Unassisted goal by Justin Rosinski. Delayed penalty call on the Tigers as Nick Bonin going out for the extra attacker. Slashing is going to be the call again on the Tigers, and the Huskies go right back on the power play with 16 minutes left in period number 2.
And it seems like Missouri's getting back to that problems with the discipline area problems again.
I mean number 17, Evan Thill.
And back to that point on the power play. Nick Bonin came way out of his goal, about halfway from the blue line in his goal, and he gave it right to the Missouri player, and LJ Skameka ended up saving a goal by a diving block.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do that, that could be a goal for Missouri, which it probably would have. It's just an unbelievable play by Skameka saving a goal there.
So it's Boris Greenberg, Bach, Stetzinger, and Hickey. Face-off won by the Tigers, and they clear it all the way down the ice. As Kyle Conway on the forecheck as Bonin swings it around for Joe Boris. Joe Boris back for Stetzinger. Husky zone. Stetzinger through center ice over the Cyclone. They'll go for Joe Boris. Joe Boris near side corner board stops. Looking, swings around in the corner board for Greenberg. Back for Boris. Boris to the point for Stetzinger. Stetzinger with the shot pad save there by Taylor. Doesn't know where it's at. Finally the whistle blows. And Bach's helmet gets wrapped up. And I'm not sure if it's going to be both guys or if it's going to be one. But penalties will be called here. 15:26 left in period number 2. 4-2 Huskies.
Looks like it'll just be one on Missouri here.
Actually, Bach, I believe, is going to go to the penalty box.
Bach is going to go to the penalty box as well.
So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 27 seconds. As the Huskies look to convert on the 4-on-4. Leon Rosinski.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it would be 5-on-4 still. Hickey's trying to figure it out.
So as we get things settled down here, Huskies are up 4-2. Goals by Rosinski and Boris. Referee's coming over the scores table. Number 3, Mike Rosa, is in the penalty box for the Tigers. Getting everything set up here. So the home penalty comes off the...
Could it be fight? I don't think it's fighting majors. There's no way. Because they weren't really fighting there.
So penalties come off the board. Huskies are still on the power play. It's going to be Mizzou, and roughing is the call, so.
Looks like they are fighting Major because they haven't put him up there, so they're probably going to be out for 5 minutes.
So Hickey for Rosinski, down for Leon. Leon for back to Rosinski with the shot right into the chest protector of Kyle Taylor. Makes the save, holds up. 15:07 left in period number 2, 4-2 Huskies.
And like we said, last year Rosinski only played about half the season, and he ended up getting 20 points. Was one of the best players for NIU, and probably is going to be the best player this year. He's that stick handler and a scorer that you need on your team.
1 minute left in the power play. 15:03 left in period number 2. Huskies up by a pair, 4-2. Hickey for Danny Stetzinger around behind Nick Bonin. Stetzinger has that one taken away. Here's Jay Mosley and Rosinski battling for the puck. Hickey finally takes it, the alternate captain formerly of Arizona State University. Rosinski coming in, shoots, just goes off the outside of the post, looking far side. Was Rosinski, couldn't bury it. 35 seconds left on the power play as Hickey comes up through center ice for Rosinski. Rosinski using his speed, trying to drive the net, looking for the wraparound, stops. Here's Tyler Sukal battling with number 19, Gamansky. Finally Sukal for Rosinski, for Hickey at the point. Back for Rosinski, now for Hickey. Hickey and Rosinski playing catch on the near side. Sukal can't quite handle it. He gets taken out, doesn't know where the puck's at, and now he does it. He gets taken out, net comes off its moorings. Whistle is going to blow. 14:06 left in the second period. 6 seconds left in the power play for the Huskies.
Even though that everything is going well for the Huskies right now, the power play, the shots on goal, right now in the faceoff dot, they are losing right now in the second period in the faceoff dot, 4-2 to the Missouri Tigers. So they gotta be a little bit better in the faceoff dot to get a couple more goals for them here. And it looks like the power play will be ending here with 0 seconds left, and he's going to come out right away.
It's going to be Boris and Schwartz, Coletta, Herlin, and Greenberg. As it's going to be Dayton and Boris in the faceoff circle. Boris wins it, but the Huskies lose the puck and the Tigers clear to center ice, and that's going to do it for the power play. Huskies are 2 for 3 on the man advantage. Joe Boris at center ice now for Troy Herlin. Roth is pressuring the puck carrier there as Herlin sends it back into the Tiger zone. Taken by Mike Haas. Haas has the puck near side corner boards, off the boards for his defensive partner, or forward partner Evan Phil. Back in is Joe Boris, using his speed, rubbed off the puck, but still has control behind Kyle Taylor, and he gets taken down. And the puck swings around all the way down the ice. And it's going to be another whistle called. Not quite sure who the penalty is on. I believe it's going to be a Tiger penalty.
I believe both of them are going to go to the box here. Boris and number 14, which we don't have him on the roster.
So number 14 and Joe Boris, one's going to be for slash and one's going to be for, I believe, a high stick. So Boris with the slash, number 14 with the hook, or with the high stick.
So to 4-on-4 hockey we go.
4-on-4 hockey for another 2 minutes. 13:22 left in period number 2. Huskies up 4-2. As we're still getting everything sorted out at the scorers table.
So far you see
2 minutes up on the clock. Yep, that is going to be Coincidental Miners.
Yep.
So it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes. Hickey, Skimeka, Remley, and Zila on the ice for the Huskies. As the puck gets dumped in by the Tigers behind Nick Bonin. Hickey's there to retrieve. Now taken away by Gowan. Gowan looking for a centering pass out in front. Gives it over to Fanning. Fanning for Gowan. Now cross ice for O'Neal. O'Neal has that puck skipped over his stick into center ice. Here comes Troy Hickey up the ice with some speed. Hickey, a pretty tall guy. Looking for a shot through the legs. Couldn't find it. It bounced off the boards. Back into the blue paint as Gowan had to, Taylor had to be careful with that one. 1:24 left on the Miners. 12:45 left in period number 2. Huskies up 4-2.
You gotta love the speed there by Hickey, coming into the offensive zone, getting a shot on goal, almost going in off the boards. But luckily, Kyle Taylor, unluckily, he turned around and ended up finding the puck.
Tigers win the face-off. Here's Josh Dayton with the puck. Stops far side corner, Boards give it over to Holstein. Holstein and Bernard play catch near side corner, Boards. So Holstein and Conway taken by Leon. Leon with the backhanded pass looking for a tip for Rosinski. Couldn't find it. Rosinski far side corner, Boards regains control of the puck. Nick Leon. Hickey's up on the play. Hickey for Leon here for Rosinski looking for a tip. Couldn't find it. Here's LJ. LJ sends it in far side corner, Boards. Here's Ian Bernard. Over for Conway. Or excuse me, for Holstein. Holstein and Bernard play catch. Holstein through center ice, just dumps it in and around behind Nick Bonin. Back to retrieve is Kyle Conway. Conway with the shot saved by Nick Bonin. Puck comes back to center, or in front of Bonin, taken by the Huskies. Knocked down with a high stick. No whistle called as Troy Hickey comes up the ice. They have 17 seconds left in the power play. 11:36 left in period number 2. Huskies up 4-2. Hickey has a giveaway in his own zone, taken by Danny Walsh. Walsh was the lone goal scorer for the Tigers last night. Walsh with a shot goes up and off the protective netting, off the shoulder pad of Nick Bonin. 11:21 left in period number 1. Both teams are at full strength.
Right now, you got to like the way Nick Bonin has come out here in the first half of the second period. He stopped all shots so far, 6 of 6 in shots. Nick Bonin stopped all 6. And Kyle Taylor has let 2 go in, and that is the reason that we are in the lead right now because of Nick Bonin.
So Bonin makes a save off the face-off. 11:17 left in period number 2. Huskies still up 4-2. Here's a shot from the point. Shoots. Oh, the puck didn't go in the net. It looked like Bonin had to reach back and make the save.
Nick Bonin, you didn't see it, but he made 4 unbelievable saves in that time period.
And the Missouri Tiger player is calling for a for a trainer. Nick Bonin looks like he could be cut on the hand. And he is, and Perillo is going to go into goal for the Huskies as Bonin was possibly cut by a skate in the hand.
You can see the blood on the ice there.
Yep, that is a gusher. Leon flings some of that blood-laden ice onto the Husky bench, and Johnny Perillo comes into the game.
But before that cut on the hand, Bonin made literally 3 unbelievable saves. You didn't see it, but 3 unbelievable saves there. And then a 4th big save there, reaching behind him. And then he ended up getting cut on the hand, which is too bad because he was really in the zone there in those 4 shots.
So Bonin's out with a cut on his hand. Looked to be a pretty good one. So Perillo comes into net for the Huskies. Johnny Perillo.
Like you said, I think that was gushing because there's blood down at the net. There's blood at the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all over the ice.
Johnny Perillo played in 6 games last year. Was 1-2, 2.91 goals against average, and an 85 save percentage, or an 88 save percentage. He's 3-6 in his career with a 4.36 goals against average. So, not a bad backup here for Alex Hare, but you hate to see Nick Bonin go out of the game like that.
I mean, yeah, like the coach said, you got 2 really good backups. You got Alex Hare, who's your bread and butter of this team, of your goalie, but you got Bonin and Perillo, who are capable backups, and both of them can just come in and just take over if they really wanted to for any other D2 team.
So the referees are doing a little ice scraping job to get the blood off the ice.
We don't have those ice girls of the Blackhawks. They can't come in.
Darn it! You should text RG and Mean Kalinkas and say, hey, we need to get some ice girls to do this for us. We don't need the referees doing this. Go
to NIU and try to get some girls that'll sign up for ice girls.
Yeah, just you like the longest yard?
Yeah.
Drop a flyer in the comments or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I'm going to have to tell Ian that one. But I don't think I need to because he's probably listening right now, and he's probably got a big smile on his face in Arizona. So Johnny Perillo's in net. Both teams are at full strength. 4-2 Huskies. 11:06 left in period number 2. Goal scorers for the Huskies were Mark Greenberg, Tyler Sukel, Justin Rosinski, Joe Boris. And for the Tigers, Nick Webb has both goals and both assists as well go to Jay Mosley, number 4. So it looks like we're just about ready to...
Still trying to get the blood off all the ice.
That was bad. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Not pretty good, but a pretty good cut.
That must have been right off like a skate. That was it just hit his hand.
You know what I think happened? I think looked like it was his right hand. So it was his blocker hand, so I bet you the blocker fell off.
Yeah, and then probably his skate. It looked, and there was a lot of scrummaging in there in the net, so you got to think that his skate probably sliced him. Hopefully not too good that it like went down to the bone or anything, but hopefully he's going to be all right.
So we're ready to go. Face off to the left of Johnny Perillo. Jay Mosley in the face-off circle, and he wins it back to Mike Rosa with the shot blocked by Remley. Rosa has a shot blocked out in front again by Nick Remley. Mosley skating in as the Huskies finally clear the zone. No icing calls. It deflects off a Tiger stick. 10:45 left in period number 2. Huskies up 4-2. Perillo has that shot come in through center ice, makes the stop, covers it up. 10:38 left in period number 2. Huskies up 4-2.
Yeah, even though that NIU is having a pretty good second period here with the 2 goals, they're losing in shots against and face-off. So right now they're losing in both categories. You got to hope that they do a little bit better in both. And just right now they're losing, but they're winning in the game. So that's all what's important.
As Gamansky sends that one up and over the net of Johnny Perillo, here comes Brian Pounds. Pounds with some speed. He has that one taken away by Gamansky. Pounds gets it back at center ice, now taken away by Gamansky, sends it in for Alex Roth. Hickey to Schwartz. Schwartz back for Pounds. Pounds looking for Kevin Schwartz with a shot. Short side save made there by Kyle Taylor. And the Tigers come back through center ice as it gets flipped into the offensive zone for Alex Roth. Roth with the centering attempt goes up and over the net of Johnny Perillo. Ron Collette is there to greet him in the near side corner boards. Stetzinger looking to find Schwartz, but taken away by Holstein. Puck comes out to center ice. Alex Roth with a breakaway on Johnny Perillo. Shoots, scores! Alex Roth, 5-hole goal on Johnny Perillo. And the Huskies' lead is now down to 1, 4-3 with 9:44 left in period number 2.
And that just ended up being a bad play there by Hickey, who was trying to come up a little bit too aggressive there with 2 guys behind him. And Missouri ended up making a nice pass there and a breakaway, and ended up being Perillo because he hasn't really gotten a lot of shots on goal, and they ended up being Perillo on the breakaway.
Yeah, I think that was only the second shot that Perillo had faced. His first shot came all the way from
center ice. So he really hasn't had a lot of action yet. So you got to hope that he's going to get a little bit better as the game goes on.
So Alex Roth gets the goal and shrinks the Husky lead to 1. Here's LJ Skimeka for Nick Leon. Now for Justin Rosinski coming up the ice. Backhand shot, tries to go high, couldn't do it. Buck comes right back to the blue paint. Tyler Sukel has it. Off the boards for LJ Skimeka. Skimeka with a slap shot looking for the deflection out front by Leon. Roth's goal is unassisted at 10:16 of period number 2. All the way over for Herlin. Herlin with the shot deflected out in front by Sukel. That one just goes wide on Kyle Taylor. Back through center ice. The puck comes. Here's Troy Herlin in the Husky zone. Back for LJ Skimeka. Backhands it for Herlin. Sukel for Herlin now to Skimeka. Looking for Rosinski. Rosinski skates in. Looking for a shot. Leon and the puck comes off its net. Whistle blows. Good opportunity there if the net had not come off its moorings. 8:50 left in period number 2. Huskies now lead 4-3.
And again, Rosinski and Leon are showing that speed that they have, getting into the offensive zone, getting good shots on goal, getting behind this Missouri defense, who is very big and kind of slow, so you got to use that speed against them and get some better shots on goal here.
Face-off won by the Huskies. Hickey sends it in behind Kyle Taylor, who sticks it around far side corner boards. Bach and Kowalski battle for the puck far side corner boards, taken now by the Tigers through center ice. Looking for a pass was Josh Dayton, taken now by Hickey for Bach. For Boris. Boris sends it in far side corner boards, taken by the Tigers. Here's Boris looking for a pass to Greenberg. Stetzinger with a shot. That gets blocked out in front by the Tigers. They've been doing a very good job of blocking some of those shooting lanes of the Huskies. Stetzinger sends it up for Bach. Looking for Boris to enter the zone. Here's Danny Stetzinger. Stetzinger with some speed. Looking to get on the play. Shoots. Big save by Kyle Taylor on Joe Boris. Score! Mark Greenberg with the odd angle shot in the near side corner, and it finds its way through the net. And through Kyle Taylor, the Huskies up 5-3.
You're looking at Kyle Taylor right now. He doesn't know what happened. He really does not know how that puck got by him. Just a really soft goal there, again, by Kyle Taylor. He's let 2 or 3 soft goals in here in this game, and you got to hope that he cleans that up. And you could just see him. He's still confused what happened, how that puck got through. But again, Greenberg getting his second goal of the game, and he's been having a great game again. He's kind of like Sukel from last night.
Yeah.
Just the puck is finding him and finding his way in the back of the net. So he's having a great game so far.
That's what Greenberg did last year. He led the team in points with 34. He had 19 goals and 15 assists in 28 games played last season. Huskies regain the lead at 2, 5-3 on a Greenberg goal at 12:03 of period number 2. Through center ice, here come the Tigers, dancing into the zone, stopped by Perillo, doesn't know where the puck is, helter-skelter there. Here's the skates, the puck is actually caught in the skates of a Tiger. Finally controlled here by Ron Cludden, now taken away by Danny Walsh, who sends it in near a side corner board, Husky zone. Hurling around Perillo. Looking for the pass through center ice, blocked there nicely by Fanning. Fanning sends it in on Perillo, he sticks it around the boards for Troy Hurlin. Taken away there by Evan Thill, who has a shot blocked as Alex Roth has it. Thill and Roth battle in the corner, but Ron Coletta wins the battle. Cantillo tries to get it out, can't do it, as the Tigers looking to pressure here. Tigers are making changes in the offensive zone. That happens when you have some great sustained offensive pressure. Gorsica sends it in as the Huskies go for a change, and they're going to try to get caught, but they get back very nicely as Perillo's there to stick it and give it to Hickey. Backhanding it for Coletta. Coletta off the boards for Schwartz. Here comes Kevin Schwartz. That one goes off the glass and back out to center ice for Alex Roth, who comes into the zone. Taken off the puck there nicely by Hickey as that one goes up into the ceiling of the ice arena. Play stopped, face off to the right of Johnny Perillo. 6:15 left in period number 2. Huskies up 5-3.
But I can see that Perillo is one of the shorter goalies I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be like 5'8", 5'9", right? I mean, he's a pretty short goalie, so you got to hope that he's kind of like a young Jonas Hiller, and he kind of can get around very quick.
Yeah. Johnny is one of those guys. Last year when we played Northern Michigan, we didn't do a broadcast, but I still went up with the team, and I can see when he's done playing here to come back as a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, great hockey sense. He kind of acts like the third or fourth coach on that bench when he's sitting there with the guys.
Well, basically a goalie is almost kind of like a catcher for baseball. They see everything. They see the whole play. They're kind of even though that they're not the captain of the team, they know what they're doing back there. So that's why they become a coach later in life, like Patrick Waugh of the Colorado Avalanche.
We just got an update on Nick Bonin from Scott Schwartz. Bonin just left in an ambulance, deep cut on his hand.
Wow. So it must have been deep. It must have probably been down to the bone if he had to leave in an ambulance.
Yep. So Bonin is off to get repairs. Hopefully he's all right, which means now you got to lean on Heron Perillo for, I'm going to guess, for the next 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks, I'd say, yeah.
6 minutes left in period number 2. Huskies up 5-3. LJ Skimeka tried to get the puck out of the zone, can't do it as Josh Dayton sends it in behind Perillo. Here's Ross Agrest looking for a centering attempt taken by assistant captain Troy Hickey. Hickey looking to spring Sukel. Can't do it, but he wins the puck to avoid the icing. Here's Justin Holstein. Holstein backhands it around for Ethan Gowan. Gowan back for Holstein around Kyle Taylor. Rosinski for Leon. Leon has to try to stick a fork in the bouncing puck, but finally the Tigers come out with it. Now that one goes off a Tiger and back into the zone, but finally the puck cleared to center ice. Taken by Josh Dayton. Now LJ Skimeka sends it back into center ice as Holstein tries to find Dayton. Here's Troy Hickey. Hickey with Sukel. Near side corner. That one goes into the stands. The whistle stops play. 5 minutes left in the period. 5-2 Huskies.
And you got to think that with Nick Bonning probably going to, like you said, probably going to be out for the next 3 to 4 weeks, you got to think that they're going to bring up a D3 goalie. Probably Craig. They're probably going to bring up Alex Craig. And you got to think that Jess, the only girl in either team, she's going to get maybe the starting goal next weekend.
Yeah, I would think between her and JoJo,
yeah,
if they decide to bring up a third goalie, that's yet to be seen. They could, but I believe with Hare and Perillo, they'll be fine. As the puck sends back into the offensive zone, here's the Tigers looking for a shot for Mosley, but they can't handle the puck. Here's the Tigers near side corner boards. Looking for a centering pass, but Rob Bach breaks that up. Bach through center ice in front of the Husky bench. This gets taken down, but he still finds Mark Greenberg. Looking for Boris. Boris can't find it. Rob Bach scores! Rob Bach right in front of Carl Taylor. And the Huskies go up 6-3 with 4:13 left in the period.
And again, another nice assist by Borze and another nice goal by Bach. Again, his second goal of the game. Bach is having another nice game. He's supposed to be one of the leaders of your team. So you gotta like that of this third line. Greenberg, Bach, and Boris. They're just having a great game on that line.
15:47 of period number 2. The Huskies get their biggest lead of the day. 3 goals, 6-3. Here's Evan Phil. Evan Phil, glove save by Johnny Perillo, holds on, plays fast. 4:07 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-3.
And back to that goal, Boris, he ended up just getting the puck and making a great pass to Bach. Even though that he was underneath the net, he really couldn't get an angle, so he ends up passing to Bach, and Bach just ends up throwing it right by him.
As the Tigers trying to find some kind of life. Here's Gorsica near side corner looking for Remley. That one just goes off his stick. LJ sends it back in for Gorsica. Gorsica looking for a centering attempt taken there by Evan Phil, who sends it off the dasher into center ice. Hickey hacks at it to right in front of the Tiger bench. And the puck comes to center ice. Through the neutral zone is Gamansky as he sends it into the Husky zone. As Gorsica trying to rub his man off the puck, that's Mike Hass with a shot into the chest of Johnny Perillo. Holds on, stopping play, 3:24 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-3.
And Perillo's starting to come into his own here. He's now faced about, I would say, 6 or 7 shots so far since he's been in the game. He's starting to get a little bit better as the night goes on. And about 3 minutes left in the second period, let's hope that he comes out in the third period and has a game and shuts them out in the third period.
Troy Hurlin sends it around the boards for Stetzinger, for Schwartz, now for Brian Pounds. Pounds with a shot pad save there by Kyle Taylor. Puck comes out to center ice. Schwartz gets a little tap on the pass from a Tiger. Here's Danny Stetzinger into the zone. Sets with a shot, glove save, in and out. And finally Taylor makes the glove save as Kyle Taylor is not happy with Schwartz. Given a little bit of a snow shower. 2:58 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-3.
And you got to expect that from your fourth line there. They're kind of your penalty takers. They're the ones that kind of got to get underneath the skin of the Missouri Tigers here, and you got to hit them. So that's what Kevin Schwartz was doing there on that fourth line, doing some nice hits, getting underneath the skin of the goalie and the Missouri Tigers.
A little bit of a debris in the Tiger net. Probably a little bit of padding off of Taylor's pads. Brzezinski in the faceoff circle. He loses the faceoff, but the Huskies regain possession of the puck before the Tigers go up and off the glass through center ice. Here's Danny Stetzinger. Near side boards for Tyler Sukel. Sukel looking for Leon, but that's taken away by Holstein for Dayton. Dayton skates into the near side boards. Taken there by 61 Stetzinger. Stetzinger through center ice. 2:28 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-3. Sukel looking for a scoring opportunity. Here's Rosinski with Dayton stick right in underneath his armpit, and he still was able to control the puck. As Stetzinger keeps it in. Here's Nick Leon looking for his first goal of the season. He battles with two Tigers in the far side boards, but Justin Holstein's out for the Tigers through center ice for Ethan Gowan. Here's Hurlin. As Hurlin gets taken down, Perillo sticks it away for Stetzinger. Then the Tigers take it away, and they score. Giveaway behind the net by the Huskies. And Ross Agrest is not going to miss from there. Huskies lead down to 2 again, 6-4.
And again, another bad turnover by the Huskies. And you could just see that these defensive lines, they can't get any chemistry between each other because of Brian Pickett being out. And we can see that really is kind of taking a toll on this defense in this game. So a couple of bad turnovers in this game by the defense, and let's hope that they clean that up in the third period. But again, that's just another bad goal by the Huskies there to give up.
So the Huskies still up by 2, 6-4 with 1:50 left in period number 2. Joe Boris wins the face-off and gets it into the Tiger zone. Here's Rodney O'Neill sending it out to neutral ice for Nick Webb. Nick Webb and Danny Walsh, and Walsh scores. Danny Walsh scores, and they score 2 goals in 10 seconds. And the Huskies' lead now shrinks to 1, 6-5.
That was as quick as last night when the Huskies scored 2 goals in about 20 seconds. And the Missouri Tigers come right back tonight and score 2 goals in 10 seconds. Both bad goals. I mean, Skimeka tried to get back. He was just a little bit slow, and they couldn't get back for the 2-on-1, and they ended up getting a great goal.
So Danny Walsh gets his second goal of the weekend. Joe Boris sends it into the offensive zone for Rob Bach, but taken away by Rodney O'Neill. Rodney O'Neill sends it over for Danny Walsh. Walsh sends it in behind Johnny Perillo where LJ Skimeka can take it and send it out through center ice. Puck gets sent back in by the Tigers, number 25, Rodney O'Neill. Bach battling with Roth on the far side boards. Roth still battling there, taken by Boris. Now the Tigers regain possession. Evan Phil sends that one backhanded up and off the protective netting. 1:01 left in period number 2. Huskies lead shrinks from 6-3 to 6-5.
You know, to me, it just looks like ever since Nick Bonham went out of the game with that cut, it just seems like that the Huskies are a little bit shaken up here, and they've just really haven't gotten really well ever since Bonham left. So you got to hope that they come back in the third period and kind of recover themselves and do much better in the third.
A minute left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-5. If you're just joining us, Nick Bonin left the game in an ambulance after being cut in the right hand by a skate after a scrum in front of the net. So Johnny Perillo is in goal for the Huskies. And the Huskies lead go from 6-3 to 6-5. Here's Nick Remley near side corner boards, battling there with Mike Rosa. Shot goes off of Kyle Taylor. Gorsica didn't know where it was at, couldn't find the rebound. And the puck comes through center ice. Stetzinger for Gorsica. And that's going to be an offside play on the Huskies. 20 seconds left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-5.
And so far, just the shot count is just way too much for University of Missouri here. I mean, they got about maybe 16, 17 shots, what I've tallied. I mean, I might be a shot or two off, but that's as much as I've tallied. And that's just way too many shots for them in this period. They did much better last period, only allowing 11. And just they got to really clean that up this next period.
So Rosa over for Bernard. Bernard tries to skate into the zone, and that's going to be an offside play. 14 seconds left in period number 2. 6-5 Huskies. During the second intermission report, we'll recap period number 2. Look forward to period number 3. We will do our NHL talk like we always do during our second intermission, and look forward to the games upcoming for the NIU Huskies. As Stetzinger had to stop at the blue line to make sure they weren't offsides. 3 seconds, that's going to do it for period number 2 as the Huskies lead 6-5 after 40 minutes here at Fox Valley Ice Arena, but it was a very eventful period number 2, unlike period number 1.
Yeah.
We will talk all about that coming up in the intermission report. But first, Duffy, what were your initial thoughts on second period?
Well, I mean, the first period wasn't uneventful. It was 2-2, but this period, I mean, yeah, you're right. It was very exciting to watch this period. A lot of goals in this period. 4 for the Huskies, 3 for the Missouri Tigers. I mean, so you got to hope that the Huskies defense gets a little bit better for next period. You can just tell that this team is a little bit shaken up after losing Nick Bonin, and you got to hope that the coach kind of reconfigures them in that locker room and brings them back out and has a good third period coming up.
Well, coming up in the second intermission report, we will talk period number 2. Look forward to period number 3. Our NHL talk, look at the calendar ahead and go over Stephen Duffy's keys to the game. You're listening to the Huskies, NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network, where the Huskies are up 6-5.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm place on a
I
cold
want to
day.
be a football
I want to be
stadium.
a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Gunzo's is your non-stop shop for all things hockey. Gunzo's carries all major brands such as Bauer, Easton, Reebok, Nike, CCM, and Ward. Gunzo's caters to not only players, but to teams as well, with the ability to take team orders. Gunzo's can customize jerseys, socks, t-shirts, warm-ups, and hockey bags. They have 3 convenient Chicagoland locations in River Forest, Morton Grove, and Chicago. Gunzo's is also the official equipment supplier of the Northern Illinois Huskies. Gunzo's Hockey Headquarters, where you will be treated like a pro.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent, 1 in 260,000. The odds of him having 15 career NASCAR victories, 1 in 1.7 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. I feel like I'm choking. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Hey, you're sitting around listening to the radio when you could be on it. You think I'm kidding? The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is looking for people just like you to enroll for classes right now. Stop wishing you were on the air and get down to making it happen. At ICB, students are trained by some of the best and brightest professionals in the industry. And not only that, you'll learn the ins and outs of both radio and TV. You'll be ready to take the airwaves by storm. There couldn't be a better time than now to hop on to beonair.com and fill out that application. It only takes a few minutes, and when you're done, you'll have taken the first step to getting on a fast track to your dreams. Once again, that's beonair.com, or you can call 630-916-1700. Classes are filling up fast, though, so you'd better get going. So what are you still doing here? Go now. 630-916-1700 or visit beonair.com. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Over here at jamsonair.com, we play anything and everything. You might hear, or how about this tasty track? I wanna get you in the back seat, windows up, that's the way you like it. We have them all. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, lollipop, lollipop. Well, maybe not that. jamsonair.com. Radio when you want it.
We know balancing family, friends, work, and free time keeps you busy. We want to help you start your day off right. Whether you're visiting for business or for pleasure, you'll always get a clean and fresh Hampton bed. Free high-speed internet access, free hot breakfast served daily with fresh baked waffles and hearty oatmeal with toppings, friendly, helpful service, and much more. For one rate. Guaranteed. If you're not satisfied, we don't expect you to pay. That's our commitment and your guarantee. That's 100% Hampton. Go to hamptoninn.com to find the nearest location. Hampton Inn & Suites, the official hotel of NIU hockey. Let's send it back to Stephen and Marcus on the NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network.
And we're back here at Fox Valley Ice Arena for the second intermission report as the Huskies lead the Missouri Tigers 6-5, a very eventful second period. We had, let me look at my notes here, we had 7 goals scored between the two teams in period number 2. Huskies getting goals from Joe Boris, Justin Rosinski, Mark Greenberg, his second goal of the night, and Rob Bach. For Missouri, Alex Roth, Ross Agris, and Danny Walsh. Walsh, that's his second goal of the weekend. Put the Tigers 1 goal behind the Huskies after 40 minutes of play. But during the second period, the Huskies had a 3-goal lead. And before Nick Bonin was cut on the hand, he was taken in an ambulance to a local hospital. As soon as we get any kind of medical update from the team, we will certainly pass that information along to you. But it looked like he had a pretty deep cut on his hand, most likely going for stitches at a hospital. So hopefully Nick's all right. But as soon as Nick left the game, Johnny Perillo came into the game, faced one shot from center ice, and then his second shot was a goal. That one was from Alex Roth. So shaky end of the second period, but the Huskies are still up 6-5. What do you think they have to do to continue the momentum that they have, or actually should have had, that they lost?
Nick Bonin only allowed 2 goals. So one of my keys was Nick Bonin had to play a good game with Alex Hare out, and which he was doing a great job. He was playing a great game. He only allowed 2 goals and about 20 shots that he faced, which was pretty good, and which he was doing very well. But then he ended up getting hurt. Perillo ends up coming in, and Perillo ends up having a very shaky start because he didn't really get a chance to kind of get ready in the beginning part of the game because everybody thought Nick Bonin was going to be throughout the whole game. So Perillo's a little bit rusty here, you can tell, and he's lost 3 goals. So that's going to be my biggest key, that Perillo needs to come back in this third period and play a much better period as a goalie. And then my second key to the game was defense has to step up without Brian Pickett, which they were doing with Bonin. They were doing very well in the first period, but in that second period, they allowed 21 shots on goal to NIU's 12. So they were doing not a very good job with the shots on goal, and they were making a lot of big turnovers in their own zone, and that's why they got a couple goals for the Missouri Tigers. So they gotta clean that up for this third period coming up if they want to win this game. And then my third key was get off to a fast and good start in each period, which they did in first and second period. Both first half of the periods, they were both very good, but then the second half of both periods were kind of sluggish again. They came out flat. So hopefully they come out in the third period, hopefully fast again. Let's hope.
Yeah, I think that they're going to come out with a sense of urgency because they definitely had the momentum through the first half of that period. But again, like we said, once Nick Bonin went out with that injury, the momentum definitely switched to the side of Missouri. So right now, Missouri's got the momentum. Huskies have to come out with a little bit of aggression. You don't have to force the issue, but make sure you get pucks in deep, set things up behind Taylor. We saw that he is a shaky goaltender. Greenberg's second goal came from a really bad angle. From the near side corner boards, and another goal he let in from Rosinski. looked like he had it, but it actually went right underneath the underneath the pad through the five-hole. So you got to get shots on goal.
He's actually had 3 of those tonight. He's actually remember when Boris comes up for the breakaway, and he ends up getting it by him. And Greenberg, we thought that it was Greenberg that got it in off the rebound, but it ended up being Boris that got it in. And it just trickled through him. And again, that happened twice again. Like you said, Rosinski got one through, and then Greenberg got that third one through. And he's letting soft goals in. Like you said, just get shots on him. He's going to let some in that you don't expect a goalie to let in. Sometimes that happens to a goalie each night. So you got to hope that he gets more shots on goal here this period, because we only had 12 last period.
Yep, shots in favor of Missouri State, 32-28. But the Huskies still lead in the category that counts. They're up 6-5. We got about 3 minutes left in the intermission report here during second intermission here at Fox Valley Ice Arena. Thank you for dialing us in. I'm Marcus Grossenau, Stephen Duffy, Kim Rona, and Dan Sanchez. Time to look at the calendar ahead for the Huskies. Next weekend we travel to Robert Morris in the Edge Ice Arena in Bensenville. We'll have both of those games on Friday night, I believe at 7:30, and Saturday night at 8:30.
It's almost kind of like a home game. I mean, it's not
So
really that
basically,
far.
It's like going to Miller Park if you're the Cubs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not that far, especially for me. It's only about a 20-minute drive for me, which will be very nice for me.
Yeah, so you don't have to drive so far.
Yeah.
So we go to Robert Morris, visit the Eagles next weekend. The week after that, we're back here at Fox Valley Ice Arena to take on the University of Illinois' Division II team. First look at them this season. And then the week after that, we travel to Florida, take on the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. And that's going to be a nice long weekend. I think it'll be a good trip for the team to take and really get some bonding time. I know they
bonded last weekend. The big, which we did too. We kind of got to know them a little bit better, especially with the coaches as well. But yeah, like we always say, the away games I like better because it kind of lets your players get more chemistry. We've always kind of thought that because when you're home, you don't really see each other. You see each other when you get to the ice rink, you practice up, but you don't really see each other on the side. But away games, you have to see each other on the bus, on the plane, so you got to get more chemistry on the away games, which I really like. So you got to hope that this away game coming up with the Florida game, you got to hope that they all get better chemistry together.
Yep, we'll play Friday night in Florida. We'll leave Friday morning, play Friday night. That is the 18th. Friday night against Florida Gulf Coast. Saturday we'll play Saturday night, the 19th. And then the boys will have a day to themselves on Sunday before coming back home on Monday night, excuse me.
Yep.
So we'll have a nice trip down to Florida, and we come back the following weekend in October, the 25th and 26th, and we travel to Eastern Illinois University. So that is the month ahead. Robert Morris, Illinois, Florida Gulf Coast, and Eastern Illinois. Time for our Hog Stock with just about a minute left in the period. Corey Crawford out with a lower body injury or a lower body stiffness.
But they say that he's going to be back Tuesday for the opening game. So
Ronta was called up, I'm guessing, just for this last preseason game to get him a little bit more work. But he will certainly be one of the two starting or backup goaltenders for the Rockford Ice Hogs coming up this season. Marion Hossa will play in his first preseason game, and I believe Andrew Shaw will play in his first preseason game as well on tonight, 7 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet. So
their last preseason game before Tuesday, which will be their home opener and the banner raising of the Blackhawks of their Stanley Cup.
And they've got to play Washington tonight, and they got to play Washington on Tuesday. And I think, do you like the idea of having to play the Eastern Conference at least every team once? Every team has to play every team once, at least one time during the season.
I kind of like that, actually, because
Me too.
Because you kind of get the feel for them before the playoffs then, and I like that each team gets to play each other at least once each season. So which I kind of like. I don't like the conferences, obviously, when we've always talked about that on our show. But yeah, I like the way they set up the season. I don't like the way they set up the conferences, but let's hope that let's hope it's a good season for the Blackhawks coming up.
And we're just about ready to start period number 3. Huskies up 6-5. They'll be moving left to right. Missouri moving right to left. Johnny Prill and Kyle Taylor in net, respectively, for the Huskies and the Tigers. As Taylor is talking to one of the refs. Not quite sure what this is all about. And he goes into net, whistle blows, and we're about ready to start period number 3. And we're off as the Tigers win the face-off at center ice, taken by Ian Bernard. Far side cross pass. Dances up through center ice are the Tigers looking to enter the zone. Finally they do with the shot from Danny Walsh. Hickey near side corner boards for Sukel. Now for Rosinski, who tries to fight his way around the check. Penalty going to be called on the Tigers. It's the interference on Missouri. So the Huskies go right on the power play 21 seconds into period number 2, or period number 3.
And this will be their 4th power play of the game. They're so far 2 for 3 in the power play. Or am I wrong about that? That's 4 power plays, right?
2 for 3, yep.
Yeah,
so this
and,
will be
then,
number 4.
and then this will be number 4. That's what I thought. Okay. And so let's hope that if they get another one, that'd be great. But right now they're doing great on the power play. But you hope that you get a power play here to go up 7-5.
Here's Troy Hurlin. Hurlin has it taken away. Here come the Tigers, number 13 on a breakaway. Danny Walsh with a shot off the crossbar. Beat Johnny Perillo, glove side. Troy Hickey skates with it now. Cross ice for Sukel. Sukel with Leon Rosinski and Hurlin, along with Troy Hickey, the other defenseman. Hurlin at the point with the shot. That one just goes wide on Kyle Taylor. Hickey down for Rosinski, below the net here for Leon. Leon back to the point for Hickey with the shot. That one goes just wide. Glove side on Kyle Taylor, and the Tigers clear the zone. 1:10 left on the power play. 18:53 left in period number 3. Here's Troy Hickey off the boards. Bounce pass for Rosinski. Rosinski skates into the zone, circles around Taylor. Looking for a pass. Still skates with it is Rosinski. Now at the shot, looking for Sukel. Can't find it. Taylor pounces on the puck. 6-5 your score. 55 left in the power play. 18:33 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-5.
The Huskies there could have just got a little bit more on the puck there. That could have went in the net because Taylor was way out of position, but he ended up diving on the puck and making the save. But just a little bit more, that would have been a goal.
Here's Troy Hickey with the shot. That one gets deflected up and into the protective netting. 18:29 left in period number 3. 6-5 Huskies. 50 seconds left in the power play. Face off to the right of Kyle Taylor. Face off won by the Huskies. Mark Greenberg controls. Greenberg backhands the pass to Joe Boris. Now Bach back to the point for Hickey, and he has a good stick and keeps it in. Joe Boris can't control that, and the Tigers clear the zone. 35 seconds left on the power play. 18:11 left in period number 3. Brian Pounds for Rob Bach through center ice over the Cyclones logo. Far side half boards. Bach saucer pass for Hurlin with the shot into the breadbasket of Kyle Taylor's. Whistle stops play. 21 seconds left on the man advantage. 6-5 Huskies.
That was a good play by Bach there, finding Hurlin. Hurlin had the open lane. Had a good shot on goal there. Almost made it, but a good stop by
Taylor.
By Taylor.
Yep. Huskies win the face-off again. Here's Coletta with Greenberg. Greenberg skates in. Far side corner, or far side face-off circle, now around the net for Boris. Boris looks, 7 seconds left on the man advantage. Here's Stetzinger for Coletta. Coletta winds up, shoots. Pad save there by Taylor. And the Tigers clear the zone. Both teams at full strength. Johnny Perillo stops the puck with 17:34 left in period number 3. Here come the Huskies. Danny Stetzinger for Mark Greenberg. Greenberg through center ice with a shot on goal, and Taylor sticks that one to the near side corner. Boards taken now by Zach Fanning. Here's Gamansky. Gamansky has the puck taken away from him at center ice, but now is in on the forecheck on Ron Coletta. Agris has the puck looking for a centering attempt for Kyle Conway. Whiffed there by the Huskies. And Perillo has to stick that one into his glove. Covers it up. 17:01 left in period number 3. 6-5 Northern Illinois.
And so far, the Huskies have come out here very well. They're up 4-1 on the shots and 4-1 on the face-off. So they have, again, come out fast in the third period. So let's hope that keeps up in all the way out through the period.
Rosinski for Hickey. Hickey cross-ice pass for Nick Leon. It's going to be a 2-on-2 if Rosinski can catch up with him. Leon into the zone. Short side save there made by Taylor. Doesn't know where the puck's at. And finally the puck is cleared to center ice by Missouri. Troy Hickey's in to catch the puck. Here's number 10, Ian Bernard on the forecheck. Now Ethan Gowan has the puck, and the puck escapes the Tigers. Here comes Rosinski up the ice. Rosinski with a good scoring opportunity, looking for Sukel, and he has that one taken away from him as Missouri clears the zone. As Hickey lays a pretty good hit there on Ethan Gowan to rub him off the puck. Now here's Skimeka for Hickey. Hickey cross ice for Nick Leon. Leon through center ice with Justin Rosinski as that one's poked away by the Tigers. To center ice, and Rosinski regains possession through center ice as he loses his stick. Ethan Gowan had the puck taken away from him. Here's Justin Holstein. Holstein gives the puck up to his partner, Danny Walsh. Walsh skates with it to Holstein. Now he gives it over to Gowan. Gowan dumps it in deep and goes for a change. LJ's in the corner battling with number 13, Walsh. Walsh gives it over for Mosley. Mosley looking for the shot, and a save by Johnny Perillo. Point blank save there by Danny Walsh by Johnny Perillo. 15:39 left in period number 3.
Probably the best save that Perillo has had since he's come into the game, because that was, like he said, I mean, he got it out in the front of the net, the Missouri Tigers, and Perillo had to cut down the angle, and he ended up making a great save there.
Face off to the left of Johnny Perillo. Nick Remley wins the face off, and the puck goes through center ice back into the Tiger zone. Here's Holstein. Holstein bothered there by Remley, but taken now by Bernard. Bernard gets that puck up and off the glass into the neutral ice. Stick down there by the Tigers, taken by Anthony Cantillo. Now the Tigers come back with it. That one gets dumped into the zone by Holstein, and he gets taken off the puck by the captain, Nick Remley. Here's Hurlin. Giveaway in front of Johnny Perillo. Here comes a shot by Bernard, and Perillo has to make the tough save there, short side. Mizzou behind the net trying to work the puck from low to high, but Stetzinger for the Huskies has it, now taken away and given behind the net for Johnny Perillo. Hurlin through center ice off Alex Roth's skates, so no icing called. Kyle Taylor plays the puck for Roth. Roth backhanded pass into the body of Troy Hickey. Hickey's not sure where it's at. He gets taken down. Penalty going to be called on the Tigers. No goal. Interference is going to be the call, I believe.
Yeah, you could see that he pushed him down from behind there, the player for the Missouri Tigers. Doesn't like the call, but you got to make that call.
That's an easy call.
That's an easy call.
So the Huskies looking to go to make it 3 power play goals today.
2 for 4 so far today, 50%, which you always kind of hope that you're over 25% as power play. So right now they are way over the limit that they're hoping for.
So the Husky and Roth is going to get a penalty, and Hickey draws another penalty, and Roth is gone from the game.
Another ejection from last night. It was number 2, Justin Holstein, and now it's their captain, Alex Roth, which is very surprising. You don't expect that from your captain.
As Hickey draws a penalty, I don't think he did much. So no play. He has his stick broken.
I guess that's how hard Alex Roth hit his stick. He must have smacked it. But yeah, Hickey's one of those guys that really can get underneath the skin of some players, and which you just saw there, underneath the captain of the Tigers.
Hickey's saying to the referee, look what he did to my stick. So 14:33 left in the period, 6-5 Huskies. The Huskies are right on a power play. An interference call in number 19.
Could be probably
John Kamansky, and Roth was tossed from the game, so let's see what...
Could be a 5-minute major, another 7-minute penalty like it was last night.
Could be. Alex Roth was not happy with whatever Hickey was doing to him. So referees are still giving an explanation. And it's a 5-minute major on Alex Roth.
So that's the second 7-minute power play that we're going to have tonight, that we had last night as well when Justin Holstein got thrown out of the game, and we ended up having a 7-minute power play too. Again, it just seems like the Missouri Tigers, it seems like they just like kind of lose themselves in the third period like they did last night. It seems like they get over frustrated and they ended up taking dumb penalties last night, and again, they're doing it again here in the third period of tonight. You can't expect that from your team. You got to expect them to be a little bit more disciplined, especially in the third period.
So the Huskies have a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 55 seconds, and then they'll go on the power plays. Roth is charged for 2 minutes for slashing and a 10-minute game misconduct, and he was tossed from the game. Rosinski near side corner boards. Still in the corner looking for Leon. Leon's got the puck now for Coletta. Coletta for Hurlin. Hurlin back for Coletta. Coletta with the shot. Pad save there by Kyle Taylor, and the puck comes back out to center ice. Here's Troy Hurlin. Hurlin for Sukel, and Sukel has the puck escape him back into center ice as he's taken out the puck by Walsh. Here comes Rosinski. And Rosinski's taken out the puck by Walsh, but Rosinski regains control. It's a 5-on-3 for another minute and 12 seconds. As Sukel's looking for a redirect out in front. Kyle Taylor's down to make the save. Tigers clear the zone as it goes off a partition through center ice. 13:34 left in period number 3. 6-5 Huskies have a 5-on-3 for another 56 seconds. Here comes Sukel. Sets up shot far side half boards for Leon. Leon skates in, cross ice pass for Hickey, and it's picked off by the Tigers. And that's going to be number 10, Bernard, as he comes in on Johnny Perillo. Big save by Perillo as he had poke checked that one away. Bernard, and a penalty is going to be coming up on, I believe, the Huskies. And Hickey's going to go to the box. It looked like slashing was the call, and that is going to be the call. 2 minutes for slashing on Troy Hickey.
And again, that happened last night. We had a 5-on-3, but we ended up taking a dumb penalty in the 5-on-3, so it ended up being a 4-on-3 for about like a minute. So here again, we're doing dumb penalties when we don't need them. When we're up 5-3, don't need those penalties.
This will be 4-on-4 for 32 seconds. It'll be 5-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then the Huskies will have probably another minute and change of a power play.
Yeah.
I can do math.
Yeah,
I can do math.
Oh yeah. we weren't dumb at school. We can do math here.
Yeah, that's why we're broadcasters, so we don't have to do math.
Exactly. We don't have to do all that stuff anymore.
So it looks like it's going to be Greenberg, or excuse me, Coletta, Boris, Stetzinger out on the ice right now, talking with their goalie Perillo.
And Greenberg's talking with the refs, trying to figure it out.
Greenberg is one of the alternate captains, and he's going to be on the ice. He's trying to give Coach Raporto and Ronaldo the consensus on the Hickey penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a 5-on-3 or maybe 4-on-3 still.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a Mizzou player going to the box.
They don't have enough seats down there to have 3 players in the box.
So penalties galore here so far in the early going of period number 3. So I believe the third guy in there is number 19. Not sure what his penalty is quite yet. We'll get that on to you guys once we know.
Yep, it seems like it's still going to be a 5-on-3.
Referees are still trying to sort everything out. Bench misconduct served by number 19, John Gamansky.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, I saw the coaches over there getting very mad at the refs. Just like last night, they got a bench misconduct last night as well. So the coaches, I mean, they're almost kind of like the players. They got to calm down. I mean, I know that there's been some bad calls by the refs in both nights, but still, you can't do that.
You have to roll with the punches.
Yeah, you gotta just kind of take it. You can't do dumb penalties like that, even as a coach.
So everything is getting sorted out, and we're ready to go. So still a 5-on-3 for the Huskies as the draw comes right to the right of Johnny Perillo, taken by Stetzinger. Stetzinger trying to find Greenberg, but taken out by Nick Webb. For Ron Coletta, center ice. Stetzinger over the Cyclone logo for Nick Leon. Nick Leon comes into the zone. Sets up shot for Stetzinger. Over for Coletta. Coletta winds up, shoots. Stick save there by Kyle Taylor. Boris for Coletta. Coletta with another shot. Pad save there by Taylor, and the Missouri Tigers clear the zone. So now it's a 5-on-4 power play for the Huskies. So no goal on the 5-on-3 as Perillo had to come way out of his net to play that puck. Big save by Perillo, and he doesn't know where it's at, and it squeaks through. But there's Stetzinger to clear up the change. Here's Stetzinger at center ice, battling there with Gamansky. Now taken by Coletta for Greenberg. Here's Coletta for Stetzinger. Cross ice for Mark Greenberg. Greenberg's already got a goal tonight. Greenberg stops, gives it up for Rob Bach, but he's taken off the puck there by number 17, Evan Phil, and Phil's got a break, or Mosley's got a breakaway. Good stick and a penalty, interference, and it's going to be a penalty shot for Jay Mosley. I'm not sure who took him down. I think it might have been Stetzinger.
Yeah. To me, that really could have went either way. I mean, it looked like he got a stick on the puck, but the refs saw it differently, and they ended up getting a penalty shot, and it's going to be Nick Webb, who's already got 2 goals tonight with those nice snipes in the first period.
Yep. No, it's actually going to be Mosley, I believe. Nick Webb is the alternate captain.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it's interference is the call on Stetzinger. So even if they don't score on the
penalty shot, they'll still have a penalty, yeah.
Yep. Here comes Jay Mosley, 2 assists already on the night. Through center ice, goes wide left, skates in, backhand, bad save by Johnny Perillo. And Stetzinger comes out of the box.
Great save by Perillo. Yep. They're keeping this game 1 goal ahead. That was huge for them, and that could have helped the Huskies to make this win, because that's going to give them big confidence here going forward.
So 5-on-4 for another minute and 7, or minute and change. Roth has been tossed out of the game, so that penalty still has another 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on it. Won by the Tigers. Here's a shot from the point by Nick Webb into the glove of Johnny Perillo. 11:39 left in period number 2. Huskies up 6-5.
And like I assumed, I think Perillo has kind of come back here in the third period, really come into his own, and he's starting to get a little bit better here.
Here's Justin Rosinski behind Johnny Perillo. Now he comes out far side face-off circle for Nick Leon. Leon cross ice for Hurlin. Hurlin skates into the zone. 5-on-4 power play for another 52 seconds. Greenberg with a shot, Rosinski with the shot, wrap around, and that one goes up and over the crossbar by Nick Leon as Kyle Taylor was down and out. Hurlin for Remley. Remley gets pressured there by Bernard. Now taken here by Sukel. Sukel for Hurlin at the point, now for Rosinski, far side half boards. Rosinski now the far side corner board, skates, stops, looks, cross-side pass for Sukel, and that one's cleared down the ice by Holstein. Perillo's out to play it. Here's Nick Leon. Nick Leon, drop pass for Troy Hurlin. Hurlin through center ice into the offensive zone, now taken by Remley. Here's Leon. Leon with the shot. Score! Nick Leon with the snipe over the glove, and the Huskies go back up by 2, 7-5.
And I've always thought that Leon, what I've seen throughout this season and throughout the tryouts, Leon has got one of the best snipe shots on the team. I mean, he can get it up there as quick as he can, and he got it over the glove of Kyle Taylor, and Kyle Taylor just could not keep up with it. That's Leon's first goal of this weekend, and you got to expect that from one of your stars.
So 9:19, the Huskies tie things up, or go up by 2, 7-5. As Leon has a snipe, and he knocked the water bottle off the top of the goal. Here's Troy Hickey into the offensive zone. I believe that's going to be icing, and it is. Whistle sounds. 10:29 left in the period. 56 seconds left on the final power play for the Huskies.
And right now on the power play, the Huskies are now 3 for 6. on the power play. So still 50% on the power play. Still very good. Like last night, they were 4 for 8. So 50% throughout the whole weekend, really.
Here's Joe Boris. Joe Boris wins the faceoff, now takes it around and stops behind his goalie, Johnny Perillo. Out for Rob Bach off the skates. Off the skate there of number 13, Danny Walsh. Now Hickey is out of the box, and he comes through center ice trying to dump it in. Coletta's got it at center ice for Mark Greenberg. Greenberg sends it in for Sukel, and icing is going to be the call. Spock was trying to race it down. Just about halfway through period number 3, Huskies up 7-5.
I understand the rule that you're not allowed to really fight for the puck there, but it looked like Bach had the advantage and he was going to get there. I'm not sure why the refs called that so quick.
It's almost like the hybrid icing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the rule, but I always thought that if the player has the chance to get it like that close to it, then I thought that they would let it go. But
it's kind of referee discretion that if they think that he can get to it. Obviously, I thought there, like you did, that Bach could get to it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
20 seconds left on the final power play here for the Huskies. 9:49 left in period number 3. Huskies up 7-5 on a Nick Leon goal, his first of the season. Here's Troy Hickey for Joe Boris. Joe Boris backhands it into the offensive zone, and then it's right back out through center ice into the Husky zone by the Missouri Tigers. Johnny Perillo back to take it. Both teams are at full strength. Hickey for Niedzela. Niedzela, far side half boards, now into the corner. He gets taken out. Actually looks like he might have lost an edge and went sliding into the boards. Here come the Tigers, and they try to get it out. Can't do it. Good gum up there by the Huskies. As it's a center ice and right back in the offensive zone for Northern Illinois. 9 minutes left in the game. 7-5 Huskies. Cross-ice pass trying to find Conway, but the Huskies gum up that play. Now here come the Tigers, number 16, Gowan. Gowan fans on a shot. Perillo has that one into his breadbasket, and they score. Johnny Perillo looked like he had it. Couldn't find it, and the rebound goes into the net. I believe the goal is going to go to Ethan Gowan, and just like that, Huskies' lead shrinks to 7-6.
Now, Perillo has had a really good third period here, but that was just a bad play by him. He thought that he had it, but he really didn't, and they end up coming in for their own rebound and getting a goal. And so now it's 7-6. So now Missouri's right back into this game with about 8 minutes left. They really could tie this game and bring it into overtime. So let's hope that the Huskies can stay within themselves in this next 8 minutes and keep the 1-goal lead.
Face-off at center ice. Niedzela loses the face-off to the Tigers. Here's number 9, Hickey. Has a giveaway at center in the offensive zone. That one just goes wide by Evan Phil. Shot goes back in on Johnny Perillo. This time he's got it in his glove. He holds on. 8:32 left in the period. 7-6 the score.
You know, it really has been like a tale of 3 periods here with the Huskies. I mean, for the faceoffs and shots, they have been completely different from each period. The first period, they really dominated the Missouri Tigers in those 2 aspects, and the second period, then they got dominated. Third period, they're dominating as well.
As Johnny Perillo gets knocked into by Conway, puck is covered up. Face off to the left of Johnny Perillo. Face off won by the Tigers. Conway sends that one in on Perillo. That one just goes wide. Here's Cantillo near side half boards. Has that one taken away by Bernard. Bernard skates with it. Backhand pad save there by Johnny Perillo. Troy Hickey's got it. Skates with it. Just floats it up into center ice. Off the chest of a Tiger. That one's Holstein. Holstein shot. Big rebound by... Oh, and they got a glove save!
Wow.
No goal! No goal! He thought it went in, but Perillo with the miraculous glove save!
That was one of the best saves I've seen probably throughout this whole season by any goalie. That was amazing. He was down on the ice, and he puts the glove up.
Oh, my God!
That was amazing.
He pulled a Sandlot. Perillo was down and out, and he just threw the glove up, and the puck found his glove.
And you saw the Missouri Tigers, all of them thought it was a goal, and then they just get, oh man, that was just an unbelievable save there.
And the call on the ice was no goal. So the face-off is going to go to the left of Perillo after he makes the miraculous save. And the Huskies remain up by 1, 7-6. That's the kind of save where if you win this game,
That's
the save that wins this game for you.
that's the save of the game. If we had a replay, that would be my save of the game.
As we rejoin the play, 7 minutes left, or just over 7 minutes left in the game. Here come the Tigers. A shot. That one just goes wide on Johnny Perillo. Tigers keep it, and Leon for Sukel, as he can't find that one. Holstein and Sukel battle for the puck around Kyle Taylor. As Holstein loses an edge, puck's underneath him, now taken out by Danny Walsh. Off the board, Stetzinger holds it in. Leon can't stick a fork in the bouncing puck. Now taken by the Tigers, number 14, Danny Walsh. Or excuse me, by Danny Walsh. Shot, and that one just goes wide on Johnny Perillo. Nick Leon and Troy Hurlin into the back check. No penalty call. Here's a shot from the point. That one's tipped just wide of Johnny Perillo by the Tigers, number 18, Nick Webb. Rosinski looking for Sukel. Now Rosinski's got it. And Rosinski's got a 2-on-1 with Nick Leon if he's got it. Here comes Leon. Leon, a shot. Big save by Kyle Taylor as he couldn't bury it on the short side. Rosinski looking for the centering attempt again, but can't find it as Sukel was covered up nicely by Josh Dayton. Penalty is going to be called on the Huskies as Sukel, I believe, is going to get 2 minutes for interference or cross-check, either one. With 6:34, this is a crucial penalty kill here for the Huskies.
Yeah, and I think this is the third power play for the Missouri Tigers. So far, they're 2 for 2 for the Huskies on the penalty kills. So let's hope that they can keep this 1-goal lead. This is probably the biggest power play right here of the game for both teams. Let's hope that the Huskies can stop them right here.
Sukel, I believe this is his first penalty of the season, so he's a very disciplined, very talented player. Just trying to make a play in the offensive zone. Face-off win by the Tigers, controlled by Danny Walsh. Walsh far side point. Looking for a tip. That one goes up over the crossbar. Taken now by Even Phil. Hickey battles Gamansky in the near side half board. Gamansky skates around near side corner. Now for Phil. Back for Gamansky, but Greenberg's there to take the puck. That one's off a skate of Kevin Schwartz. Now here's 17 Phil. Shot and a save by Johnny Perillo. Puck is loose, whistle blows. 6:04 left in the period, 1:30 left on the man advantage for the Tigers.
But yeah, back to Sukel. I mean, you made a good point that he's a very talented, very disciplined player. And I think really this year, with him being on the first line of Leon and Rosinski, I think that he could be one of the top scorers for this team. He's a very talented player, like you said, and he always seems to know where the puck is, and he always gets his stick on the puck. Tigers
win the faceoff, and they control in the offensive zone. Shot, that one just goes over the blocker, off the stick of Bernard over Perillo. 1:18 left in the power play. 5 minutes left in period number 3. Here's Troy Hickey. Troy Hickey off the glass and down as they clear the puck as Kyle Taylor is there to receive it. Rosinski on the forecheck, backhanded to Danny Walsh from his goaltender Kyle Taylor. Here's Niedzila doing some nifty forechecking work. He's all alone. It's a 1-on-4, and he swings it back to neutralize for Boris to kill off some time. Here's Hurlin. Hurlin off the glass for Hickey.
Playing keep away right now.
Hickey for Boris. Boris off the blocker of Kyle Taylor. Another shot on goal shorthanded. Taken away by Moshia. Moshia and Boris. Boris loses that battle, and the Tigers set up shop behind their goaltender with 30 seconds left in the power play. Tigers come through center ice, can't find the pass. No icing called here as they go for a change. 20 seconds left on the power play. And Kyle Taylor's out of his net to play it for Mike Haas. Haas skates through the near side face-off circle, can't find his partner. Stetzinger sends it back into the zone. And the Huskies are going to be 3 for 3, or 4 for 4, on the penalty kill.
Yeah. Great penalty kill there. Really not a shot on goal for Missouri there, maybe one.
Here comes the Tigers as Stetzinger tried to step into a Tiger, and that one goes up over the net and into the Zamboni entrance. 4:23 left in the game, 7-6 your score, as the Huskies have now scored 14 goals in the weekend. And Missouri State has now given up 28 goals in its first almost 3 full games.
7 goals a game.
Every game
so far, 7 goals a game. And right back to that penalty kill. That was the most important penalty kill of the game, and a great job. Only one shot on goal. Pretty much kept it in their zone the whole time.
Here's Cantillo. Cantillo looking for his second goal as a Husky. And Kyle Taylor has to make a nifty move with his stick to get that one out to neutral ice. Dayton. And the Huskies fall down. Here's a stick there. Taken away. Shot goes up and over the crossbar. Johnny Perillo. Here's Anthony Cantillo. Center ice for Moshia. Shia sends it in around behind Perillo. Stop there for Schwartz. Schwartz off the boards for Cantillo. Now taken by Troy Hickey. The Hickey has a giveaway at center ice for Bernard. Bernard stops far side. Face-off circle. That one's blocked away by Johnny Perillo. Perillo making some big saves here when he needs to, right into the breadbasket. He makes the save. 3:23 left in the period. 7-6 your score in favor of the Huskies.
Yeah, about the same in shots in this third period. I was saying that the Huskies were dominating, but now the Missouri Tigers have come back in shots. And like you said, Perillo has made some big saves here when he needs to. And with about 3.5 minutes left in this game, he's going to need to be on his best in these last 3 minutes.
Here's Nick Leon, far side center ice, just dumps it in on Kyle Taylor. 3:28 left in the game, 7-6 Huskies. Rosinski backhands it, trying to get it in the zone, can't do it as the Tigers, Kyle Conway does a good job of gumming up the blue line as a shot comes in from the point from Evan Phil. Cantillo makes the save. 3:16 left in the power play, or in the game. 7-6 your score. We rejoin the play as Evan Phil sends it around behind Johnny Perillo, now taken by Danny Stetzinger. Stetzinger backhands it over for Nick Leon through center ice. Dumps it in behind Kyle Taylor. Kyle Taylor has that one just escaping, but but Ian Bernard was there to stick it away. 2:51 left in the game. Huskies up 7-6. Look for the Missouri Tigers to pull their goaltender with about 2 minutes and change left in the game. Here's Sukel. Sukel's got 3 goals already this weekend. Here's Nick Leon, far side half boards. Sends it through center ice, knocked down by Rosa. Here's Rosa, now gives it over for Stetzinger, who clears the puck through center ice into the Tiger zone. 2:20 left in the game. Huskies up 7-6. Here's Troy Hickey, who breaks up the pass through center ice, but now taken by Danny Walsh. Walsh battles Hickey there. Greenberg comes in to help. 2 minutes left in the game as the Tigers have sustained pressure. Taylor looking to see when he's going to get pulled. Rosa with the shot, blocked there by Rob Bach. And Bach is down on the ice. He is limping. Good shot blocked by him. Greenberg has that one taken away from him, but here's Sukel. Sukel clears the puck to center ice. 1:40 left in the game. Huskies up 7-6. Taylor looking to the bench, one to get pulled. But the Huskies just keep controlling the puck. Schwartz. Offensive zone, now taken here by Greenberg. 3-on-1, Greenberg, Sukel, and Boris. Boris for Sukel, and Sukel can't handle the puck. Here comes Taylor. Taylor looking. Tigers come to the zone. That one goes up over Johnny Perillo's head. Now Sukel controls the puck. Sukel on a breakaway. The shot, that one goes in the goal, and Sukel scores! Kyle Taylor didn't know what to do, whether to come out and play it or stay in the goal. And Sukel goes 5-full on Taylor, and that's just about going to do it. With a minute left, Huskies go up 8-6.
And you can tell that Kyle Taylor is not happy, throwing his water bottle, his stick around. He is not happy right now. Great breakaway goal by Sukel there, going 5-hole, getting by Kyle Taylor, and Kyle Taylor is just not a happy goalie right now, allowing 8 goals now tonight on him.
Sukel's second goal of the game, full strength and a power play goal so far tonight. And I believe Missouri's going to take their timeout with just a minute and 2 seconds left in the game.
And I'm surprised that Kyle Taylor didn't come out. That could have been an empty net goal. I was really surprised that they weren't pulling him out.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that we kind of had control of the puck in our zone, but they could have pulled him out when they had control going up.
I thought for sure. I mean, he was almost at the blue line waiting to see if he was going to get pulled, and coach never gave him the signal.
He never gave him the signal. I mean, luckily, I guess it was the right move because he ended up getting back, but still he ended up getting scored on anyway.
Yeah. So 1:02 left in the game. Sukel scores to basically put this one away. Huskies have now scored 15 goals in the weekend on Mizzou. And with the 2 points, they will move into a tie for first in the MACA, pending Missouri State's game tonight against DePaul. DePaul beat them 9-1 last night. So we'll have to wait and see. Here comes the Tigers' Danny Walsh. 1 minute left in the game. Hurlin sends it out to center ice, but the Tigers send it right back in. Here's Hickey for Leon. Leon spins off the boards into the neutral ice. Taken there by the Tigers into the offensive zone. Hickey gets it behind Perillo. And another giveaway by Troy Hickey. Nick Leon just sends it back down the ice. Goalie is pulled now. No goalie with 30 seconds left. Here come the Tigers. Up through center ice. Picked off there by Troy Hurlin. And Brian Pounds does a nice job of sticking that one to the neutral ice. 15 to go. Penalty. And Rosinski's going to score and put it away on a delayed penalty call. And Rosinski scores the empty net goal. Huskies are going to win this one 9-6 with 12 seconds left.
And really just a great third period for the Huskies. I know that they let in one goal this period, but they ended up getting a couple goals themselves and then the empty net goal. So really a good third period to come back out here and get the win. And a very important win, like you said, get back in first place, tie for first place right now.
So 12 seconds left in the game, and the Huskies will go on the power play with 12 seconds left. Here's Kevin Schwartz back for the Huskies. And the puck's going to go to center ice, and that's going to do it. Your Huskies come out and sweep Mizzou in the home opening weekend, scoring about 16 goals in 2 games on Kyle Taylor and Steven Williams. And the Huskies win 9-6 today. Goal scorers for the Husky. Greenberg had 2. Sukel had 2. Number 21, Joe Boris had 1. Bach, Leon, and Rosinski had 2. So your top line is scoring. Your third and fourth lines are producing. Johnny Perillo came in halfway through the second period and played a tremendous third period, making some acrobatic saves as Nick Bond was cut.
Yeah.
And he has been taken to the hospital for repairs. We'll get updates, hopefully, from Coach Raporto when he comes up and gives us a post-game interview. But that's the way you want to start out your home schedule.
Yeah. They got 2 wins out of this weekend, which was very good. I think the negative that comes out of this weekend, they were really good at every aspect, but a couple key injuries here. Bonin's going to probably be out for 3 to 4 weeks. You see Pickett's going to be out. Alexair's not injured, but he was out for tonight. And then it looked like Bach got hurt there, and you saw him go right to the locker room after the game. He had, I think, a knee problem there. He got hit pretty hard. So hopefully all these injuries are going to be okay for next weekend. But if they're not, you could see Weems coming up. You see probably Jake Josh coming up next weekend. So some big key players might be hurt for next weekend. Let's hope that the D3 guys come up and fill that role.
And I think they will. And for guys like Jake Josh and Alex Craig and JoJo, just to get playing time on D3. I mean, I know they haven't started the season off quite the way they wanted, starting 0-3, giving up 11 goals in 2 nights, or 22 goals in 2 nights against Marquette. But they're just getting playing time, and that's what you need to do if you're a D3 guy. Get your reps there.
Because he expects a lot of these D3 guys to be here for next year after we lose about, 6 or 7 seniors, I think?
Yep.
So you got to expect a lot of these D3 guys to be up here. So it's like you're right. It's good to get experience down there, and then when you come up to D2, you'll be ready, and you'll be good, hopefully, by the time you get up here.
So we're going to take our first break of the post-game show. Coming up, we'll recap today's game. Look forward to Robert Morris University next weekend. Hopefully get a chance to talk with assistant coach Mike Raporto, as we always get to do during the post-game show. Repeating your final score here, Huskies win 9-6. Stay tuned for the NIU Huskies post-game show. You're listening to the NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah?
Do you want to go to the state fair?
Yeah.
Do you want to ride the roller coaster?
Yeah.
The big one?
Yeah.
The one with the reverse flip?
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
Huh?
You see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it, including going to the state fair.
Oh, man.
Cheer up. This year, your parents will make it right. They're going to visit EnergySavers.gov, where they'll get tips on how to save energy and money. Then they'll add extra insulation and get a few of those Energy Star appliances. They could save hundreds of dollars a year. And you know what, Billy?
What?
They'll take you to the state fair next year.
But I want to go this year.
I know you do, Billy. I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Have you always wanted to be on radio or television? Don't lie to yourself, of course you have. That means that you need to come to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. At ICB, you'll learn everything you need to know. Hands-on training in audio programming, video editing, and much, much more. Financial assistance is available for those who qualify, so you've got no excuse. Go online to beonair.com or call 630-916-1700 for more information. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where your career begins.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm place on a cold
I want to
day.
be a football
I want to be
stadium.
a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Gunzo's is your non-stop shop for all things hockey. Gunzo's carries all major brands such as Bauer, Easton, Reebok, Nike, CCM, and Ward. Gunzo's caters to not only players, but to teams as well, with the ability to take team orders. Gunzo's can customize jerseys, socks, t-shirts, warm-ups, and hockey bags. They have 3 convenient Chicagoland locations in River Forest, Morton Grove, and Chicago. Gunzo's is also the official equipment supplier of the Northern Illinois Huskies. Gunzo's Hockey Headquarters, where you'll be treated like a pro.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent, 1 in 260,000. The odds of him having 15 career NASCAR victories, 1 in 1.7 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. I feel like I'm choking. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Hey, you're sitting around listening to the radio when you could be on it. You think I'm kidding? The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is looking for people just like you to enroll for classes right now. Stop wishing you were on the air and get down to making it happen. At ICB, students are trained by some of the best and brightest professionals in the industry. And not only that, you'll learn the ins and outs of both radio and TV. You'll be ready to take the airwaves by storm. There couldn't be a better time than now to hop on to beonair.com and fill out that application. It only takes a few minutes, and when you're done, you'll have taken the first step to getting on a fast track to your dreams. Once again, that's beonair.com, or you can call 630-916-1700. Classes are filling up fast, though, so you'd better get going. So what are you still doing here? Go now. 630-916-1700 or visit beonair.com, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Let's send it back to Stephen and Marcus on the NIU Huskies Hockey Radio Network.
Yeah, I get it, you're an outcast, always under attack.
And we're back here at Fox Valley Ice Arena for the post-game interview here with assistant head coach Alex Alessi. Well, you guys get the sweep over Missouri. You win 9-6 today, put up 16 goals on the weekend. Successful weekend, yes. Were there some things you saw yesterday and tonight that you guys are going to work on in practice this week to get ready for Robert Morris?
Yeah, obviously we got to work on the power play still.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be better, and we had opportunities, and I thought we were better yesterday on the power play. You know, today we were giving up odd man rushes on our power play, which that can't happen at any level.
Mm-hmm.
So power play, definitely an area we need to improve. Our defensive zone coverage, I mean, we were pretty bad in our defensive zone all weekend. You know, anytime anybody put any kind of pressure on us, we weren't, executing and getting the puck out. So those two areas, I mean, we kept our cool, I think, for the most part against a team that likes to hit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was good to see, especially after Missouri State.
Yeah.
So we made an improvement there, but we're gonna have to have an all-around better game. I mean, we took some periods off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you can't do that at this level.
Now, how do you think that Perillo played coming in cold? Nick Bonning having to go out a little shaken up, probably Perillo from that, but he let in some soft goals, but he made some unbelievable saves. And what do you think of his play after he came in?
Yeah, you know, out of all the goalies at NIU that we have, Johnny's got the most experience coming in a backup situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, last year he was great coming in relief for Hare.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, we have all the confidence in the world with him going forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, me being a goalie myself, back when I played, I know how hard that is to come on in like that, especially when we weren't playing our best game.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, what really counts is he got the job done.
Yeah, and you're missing a defenseman in Brian Pickett, one of your big defensemen. So
we were missing a good amount of guys.
Yeah,
you know, So, you know, we didn't have everybody, but at the end of the day, we got the W.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're happy with how we performed because it got us the W.
Now, can you provide us with any kind of update on how Nick Bonnin's doing? It looked like he had a pretty good cut on his right hand, and Pickett, I heard, is going to be out week to week with a knee injury.
Yeah, I don't know the extent on Pickett's injury, but as far as Bonnin goes, it was I heard it was a real deep cut. He's still at the hospital.
Okay, so he's probably getting stitches.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything about it here because it was so deep, and it wouldn't have worked out, and it would have bled through whatever they were going to do. But they said that depending on what they do, he could be back with the team in about 2 weeks.
Okay, so do you guys think you'll call up a goalie, or are you just going to stick with Hare and Perillo right now with the two goalie tandem?
You know what, we really haven't talked about it. JoJo from the D3 team has been practicing with us for the past week. Already. So my guess would be he might be the one, if we did bring somebody up, he'd be the one to bring up.
Awesome.
Now, we saw at the end of the third period, kind of towards the end of the third period there, Rob Bach, he ended up getting, it looked like his knee hurt pretty bad, and he ended up having to go to the bench, and then right off the ice, he didn't really even get to shake the hands. How is he doing? How is his injury report? Is there anything to report there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's good to go.
Is he good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, he's just happy we came out of that game with a W. You know what I mean? The injuries that we just talked about are really the only ones that are gonna, you know. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, Alex, we thank you so much for your time. Well, congratulations on the sweep this weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week when we take on the Robert Morris Eagles.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So for Stephen Duffy, Dan Sanchez, Kim Rona, I'm Marcus Grosnick saying so long from Fox Valley. Repeating your score, Huskies win 9-6, sweep Mizzou in the home opener.